in Rigon, Juan Flatro, and sinnopsyy, you're always going to have a big fan base behind you with expectations, right? So you might be an underdog, you might feel like you can play without pressure. I'm sure, Flatro and sinnopsyy are very much used to that these days, but they are going to be playing with, expectations of a nation behind them in a way, right? But anyway, we are live into the game. It's the debut for the new Sangal, nabbing those Astrum core players and playing with danistzz in the mix as well. Mix are a mix. Not sure if it's going to be a permanent thing going forward, but for now they're looking pretty solid. And we'll see if they can look even better today in the close qualifier.
Yeah, and I think what we're seeing here in this first pistol is probably going to be a theme of what we can expect throughout the series. Simple and direct from Mix. It's going to be Kenzie with the Julies, who draws first blood, second potentially as well. He's got support there from Norway. He just doesn't stop shooting. He knows he's got Norway to support him. And between the two of them, they've completely mopped up everything Mix has thrown at them. Aiko and sinnopsyy, the last two left alive, but this is impossible.
Yeah, a little bit of a misthrown flash there as well. That kind of blinded up a teammate, I'm pretty sure there. And shows you that when you are a mix, there can be these communication issues and these synergy issues, which a team like Sangal, having played together as that core for so long, obviously, other than the fact it's the debut for the org, they maybe won't have as much. So, a bit of a rough start. And once again, Matt, the duo that I have seen such great stuff from historically, when they were on Aurora, whether they were on Astrum, Kenzie and Norvi, both of them, a bit of a slump between them, especially with Norvi being a bit more of an in-game leader these days. He's not really a guy that can puts up the numbers as much anymore. But that duo, historically, has always been incredibly talented.
Yeah, I remember they kind of came into they came onto our radar as that duo in 2022 with the first time for Aurora, right? That's a really nice flash through the smoke, but full eco, obviously. Anyway, they came onto our radar in 2022. I feel like 2024 was a bit of a car crash of a year for both of them, just compared to the level we had seen out of them previously. But I'm thinking, I wonder if they're like, listen, we need to find a way to motivate Kenzie. Let's tell him he's being benched, and then we bring him back in as a stand-in, but we actually just trying to see if he has what it takes to just reinvent himself, reinvigorate himself. I mean, maybe that could be the motivation he needs, Trav.
That's a funny way of looking at it, I mean, fair enough. Who knows?
I'm clutching at straws here, but
oh,
perhaps.
you are. Honestly, do you remember that Thunderpick World Championship match we covered of Aurora, when, Aurora in a big tournament like that, there was a lot of player, obviously the player cams were on and we could see the expression. Kenzie was absolutely moulding in that tournament. Yeah. And I wonder if, that sort of thing has, eventually caught up with his, I guess, attitude on the team, and that's the reason why they will maybe try and move on from him at some point. I don't know. Who knows? I'm only guessing. This is a faster round coming in from Mix toward A. I really appreciate that, but unfortunately, Aiko has been caught from the Clax MP9 through the smoke. It's a good recovery from Volt, but there is damage done here to the Mix players, but sinnopsyy standing tall, tapping away, bursting away. He's found both Patsi and Norvi. Now, Kenzie and danistzz working their way back in is going to be very difficult when they've got three players holding the line. It's all down to Kenzie, the technical stand-in to clutch here. He has got position. He maybe could try to hold the defuse behind the site. They're going to be a bit panicked at that one. He's running forward. First kill coming through for Kenzie. And another tap, but he's out of bullets with the M4 and Rigon. USP was drawn. He jumped in for it. But there was probably no time left to defuse the bomb anyway, so that's why he did leap his way in. Mix get their first round.
Yeah, it felt like that was always going to be futile for Sangal on the retake. A good attempt nonetheless, but there just wasn't enough time for them to really get that one across the line. And again, as I said in the pistol, I think this is what we can kind of expect from Mix on their T-sides in general. Just clustered together, grouped up, trading their way forward onto a bomb site. And Sangal have to read into this, Trav. They've got to recognize, okay, there's going to be very few defaults coming through from this Mix team. That means that there should be some space elsewhere on the map for us to try and find gaps, get some quick flanks, and get key information.
Exactly. sinnopsyy, and this is exactly what Ancient can lend itself to, right? Just go for these contact pushes up toward B. So at A last round, T-spawns are just in a good position to always go for plays like this. And this is a broadly style that this sort of team has been known for years. Rigon's going to get himself one. Patsi tries to force the issue toward Flatro, but he does get that kill with the MAC-10. Should go down to Kenzie and Will. And that's a free M4. And now presence on the flank as well. Very difficult for Volt and sinnopsyy to hold on to.
Oh, there's a smoke on Norway as well. No kit, but they can just straight up smoke off cave and then just try and force these mixed players to come through the smoke to deny the defuse. And they're figuring it out. They've realized, okay, there's nobody long. There's no one back at the bomb site. There's no one in the site. They have to be in cave. First frag found. Volt will double down, though. Kenzie has tapped the defuse. He's trying to draw Volt out, and he will. But Kenzie gets the kill, and I think it might have been just in time.
Yeah, he's got it. Just about, but he's got it. Volt was one of the main men for this mixed team in the open qualifiers. He got so many clutches involved for him, and he was the man to clutch out the game for Mix against Arcred from that 12-2 deficit, recovering it 22-20. That final round had like a crazy 1v2 on Anubis, in the end dropping 38 kills in that game with a 1.47 rating. So he's been in the clutch multiple times for this roster recently, and he's been looking very good at it. Nice try there, but not to be on this occasion. We'll correct myself a little bit from earlier. It wasn't the game before the Open Qualifier stage for the HLTV stage for the Open Qualifier. It was the first game on the HLTV stage at the Open Qualifier for Mix. Had a chance to cover that, as I said, and yeah, they pulled off the Alamo, whatever they call it. But still, I think Sangal...
The Alamo?
Yeah, the 3-1. Good start for them.
I don't think I get the reference, to be honest with you. Don't even know what Alamo means.
Remember the famous Hiko clip from Quad with the Tech 9?
Oh,
the commentator said pulling off the Alamo from behind Quad.
Oh, alright, okay. Fair enough,
I still don't know what that's a reference to, but, you know. I know the line. So.
It's got to be an acronym for something, yeah? Cool, alright.
Maybe.
Well, Mix have gone for a bit of a half investment here, interestingly enough. There is an M4 that's been picked up. Kenzie was dropped early on in towards cave. And they're going to just pivot. They're going to pivot. They've got Rig on in position to continue to try and keep the pressure up on this B bomb site while the rest of the team heads over towards A. And at the moment, there's nobody home. Sangal are not reading into this. You can see that they're preparing to try and maybe make a play ramp to get some info. Patsi will scurry back, and he's going to get here in time. Problem for Mix is there's no utility to aid their cause, Trav. The timing, decent, but then eventually Rigon will get caught, and Patsi can realize, okay, well, he's moving towards Donut. That means they're probably going A, and they are.
Thing is, though, like in these sort of situations, when they have a buy like this, Flatro, especially, is going to be very, very willing to take these heads-up duels when he's got the M4 in his grasp. He'll just go for it to relax the round, and he's done exactly that. It's going to force a save out of Sangal. 2 MP9s will be kept along with the danistzz AWP. And yeah, I mean, you touched on it earlier, right? danistzz was known for his rifling, really, on Bet Boom when he was picked up at the time. Then moved to, I think, Team Space, if I remember correctly. That's when he started AWPing a little bit. And then he AWPed, obviously, in Sangal as well. And that really weird mix they kind of had with, like, Blitz and the Polish core that's now eventually moved on to Eternal Fire. So, yeah, it's probably the one of the moves that actually really does make sense in this VRS core era when you buy out cores. Some of them don't make sense. Do feel like the Polish core going to Eternal Fire is more of a temporary thing before they re-establish a ranking again. But for this team, it makes total sense because you've lost Grix and you already had an AWPer on your books anyway.
Oh yeah, it's just 1 + 1 = 2. It's as simple as that. And he's going to have the big green gun coming into this round as it's been carried over, surrounded by 4 MP9s. This is Mix's opportunity to put some good pressure onto Sangal early on. It's going to be a little skirmish in towards middle. sinnopsyy hasn't actually looked back, but it's okay. He's trusted the utility, and rightfully so. And again, it's just going to be this big 4-1 split, 4 players grouped up in A main. It's Clax here for the time being, but with a measly MP9, he could be in some trouble.
sinnopsyy will be allowed to get up toward the corner of red, but at only 48 HP, it's just a position to maybe hold for an unsuspecting push through, one that doesn't check a corner. And yeah, with the MP9s, 4 of them in play. It'll be easy to hold on if you're Patsi at this sort of range, and Acor will get his first kill of the game instantly toward Patsi. And now Clax rotating in on this tight angle in towards CT. You can only really expect one from here. Mix aren't pouncing just yet, though. And it looks like with all the time they've got left on the clock, they're willing to go back, considering where sinnopsyy was. But Kenzie will punish that for now.
Yeah, danistzz is here with the AWP, though. If he can at least find one before he's forced completely out the site, that would be decent. But good awareness here from Mix to smoke short off. danistzz doesn't want to give up the game. The fact that he is here with the AWP, he wants to guarantee a kill before they get the info, and it's going to be on Acor, who peeks into long. Good work from Danis. Slims out the numbers now in the retake.
Oh,
Shot.
This is rough if you're Mix. You had a chance to go toward A, and it was a much clearer sight than B. You second-guess yourselves, and now Volt needs to do a hell of a lot. Rigon needs to try and peek off of his contact as well, and now know where both these two players are playing from. It needs to be a swing, there needs to be a line-up, and they're getting it. Volt and Rigon are doing all the damage together here. It's like they've played together for years. Rigon will get 2, Volt will get 2, AWP saved, and a little hug at the end as well to celebrate.
Oh, you know what makes that so damn impressive is that they've got nowhere to just try and fall back and play time. They're forced into the fights on the front lines, just playing off of each other brilliantly. As for Sangal, it's almost like they stalled out in the 4v2 because danistzz had done so well to get those 2 kills initially. That should have been the spark that ignited the retake, but they were still fairly timid, man, and they gave up that space for Mix to set themselves up. I think they should have just continued to apply maximum pressure.
Yeah, great opportunity to recover the round for Sangal. Maybe get an economy broken on that T side, but now it's theirs that is broken. They have to go for the full eco. Only kenzie with a P250. Mix have a chance to assert their money on the board now with the full array of weaponry. Being able to grab the AWP from danistzz for free as well means that ACO gets it without having to purchase into it. Very handy indeed. And these pistols are being eaten up very comfortably.
Yeah, Mix are looking pretty damn solid in the past few rounds. It's nothing expansive, it's nothing too technical, not a huge amount of depth. Generally just opening up with a 4-1 and then kind of figuring out if they should try and throw a fake into the mix or if they just commit to the original plan.
Yeah, Patsi was able to just grab one more kill there with the USP at the end, which is fair. A little bit of damage at least. Taking sinnopsyy and Flatro out. You've got nothing to work with at all. That's all good. But now their full buy is back in play. Flatro will see all the utility come flying in toward the bottom of mid. Oh, danistzz missed a shot. That could cost him and cost his teammates as well. Rigon's been able to take Patsi out of the round, but danistzz has recovered. He's managed to find Rigon. Even though they did lose Patsi, he got his 1-for-1. They've been able to stabilize in a 4v3 with Volt 4 HP after all that.
Yeah, and remaining in full control of middle. I mean, I know danistzz misses the first shot, but he's able to follow it up with the second there. That kill is enough to just stifle the attack and send Mix packing. With their bags packed, they're going to head over in towards this B bomb site and pay Norway and kenzie a visit.
Util set up. HE's. If that nade is anywhere near Volt, he'll be out of this round. Good flashes to force their way through, but there's too many players to try and get past. It's a good pick from Acor, but he needs more where that came from, and he was dinked down low. And so was Volt from earlier on. So it's a great hold for Sangal. Norvi with 3 kills, up to 11-4 in this game is Norvi, and that's the one thing I want to see from him, of course. That's starting to become a little bit better with the in-game leading and the fragging together. It does feel weird already, you know, saying Sangal when we're covering these players, but I got used to it quickly, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's the same as Aurora for Eternal Fire. Just it felt so wrong, right? That the organization just completely synonymous with that group of players. Take some time to getting used to it. Big gun round here following up, and a bit of a force buy from Mix with a Desert Eagle and a Mac 10 in the mix. This is Sangal's opportunity to actually put some pressure on their opponents. It's been quite back and forth in the early stages of this first half. Acor going searching with the sniper. And Clack's on a very tight angle. He's just holding that pixel angle, waiting to drop the smoke at the moment of presence, but it's Acor ready for that.
That was lovely. And, you know, Acor might not have the best numbers as an AWPer in the sort of modern day of Counter-Strike, but, you know, he's just very serviceable. And that's what we saw in IEM Dallas when he stood in for Gamer Legion again. Getting through to the playoffs, you know, playing respectably against a team like Falcons. And in a mixed team like this, he could definitely do a job for you. Great opening. He boosted back up to the outskirts of B, and Norvi, well, he's just seen a whole lot, and now he'll have to try and play a sort of a double hold with his teammate kenzie, and they've done really well to find 3 overall. That recovers it into a 2v2. Patsi is here. Mix know that. They should be able to set up in a 2v2.
Oh, how does Acor go about his business here? Because you've got danistzz on the opposite side. Aiko's just going to hold the line. No need for him to actually worry about short because he's got one flatro who's covering the push. So Aiko can confidently just remain scoped up. He spots the shoulder, knows the peek's coming through imminently afterwards. And danistzz is now hoping that he gets offered something. But just really good discipline from Aiko right now. Not giving away an inch. danistzz knows there has to be a second component to the setup. It's one flatro. He will activate, and that's m1x in the lead.
There we go. Another back and forth little exchange of rounds. m1x will again break that Sangal money. I thought for a second danistzz was going to be able to push forward, get an angle where he can wall bang through the corner of the wood on the default pillar, and then get the heads-up duel in toward cave, but...
And then you woke up.
Yeah, then I woke up. It was not reality.
You know what I will... You know what I will say about Aiko, just to tag on to the point you were making? You're right, I think serviceable is a really good word to use. And reliable. You can always trust him to be making the right decisions. I feel like he's got really good game sense and very rarely makes mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's really good at playing the percentages. He doesn't give up advantages all that often. Very good at reading the situation and recognizing what's required, whether he has to be the one to make a play, or whether he has to be the one to just bunker down and have some discipline like we saw in that 1v2 behind pillar.
Exactly right. I mean, you know, I can forgive him for missing shots. Everyone misses shots, and maybe he's not the most consistent in terms of that, in terms of like the world's AWPers in Counter-Strike. But you're right. Decision-making, movement, you know, positioning, usually on point. So that's what you can rely on him, and also decent support utility usually as well. Nice nade from Rigon, talking about utility, and that will get them a 4v2, and it should net them at least a tie on the half.
I feel like players like sinnopsyy and one flatro, even Rigon as well, will be well balanced out by an AWPer like Aiko. Kind of gives them a bit more leeway to play their natural style, that aggressive front foot kind of style, taking the fight to their opponents, backing themselves full of confidence. Aiko strikes the balance with those sort of riflers, that trio, because he's the one who will be slightly more reserved.
And talking about that sort of style as well that you're touching on there, right? Like, it actually feels like the yin and yang of this roster, this mixed team, is pretty good. Because you've got 3 players who are historically known for being giga aggressive in their Bad News Eagles days. And you've got Volt, who was maybe a little bit more of a passive player when he was on Gamer Legion, which was, you know, the right thing for them at the time, but they wanted to move on from that. And you've just described how Aiko is as a player as well. So you've got like the best of both worlds in a way. You've got giga aggressive players, and you've got a insurance policy rifler in Volt who, as I've said, I've seen clutch many, many times, even in just these couple of days for this mixed team, whether that's in the open qual or now in this closed qual. So yeah, pretty fascinating, honestly. I don't know if they're going to be playing together for much longer, or if it's just a mix with qualify, I'll be honest with you. It's looking good at the moment. That nade is going to remove Patsi from the round. There we go. But Norby did find Rigon in the meantime. sinnopsyy will force his way out mid. Stopped by danistzz, but also stopped by flatro. danistzz will stay alive, though, and manage to trade that. So they have a 3v2. It should be a 3v1 now. As Volt tries to creep through the doors. There's a gap in the smoke, and Kenzie will take advantage of that.
Oh, well, now we've got Aiko in the 1 versus 3 clutch. He's got some time to work with, and he's being offered up fights as well. Completely unnecessarily gotten ahead of the smoke here. Norway might not expect this. Aiko now knows that there was a player in Donut a few moments ago, and he knows that the other player's in towards ramp. He wants to go back searching for the mid player, but danistzz really smartly is making sure he's going to join up with his captain here, not leave himself to be potentially picked off in an isolated position.
Norby took a little bit of damage there. Maybe he took a tag to the end of the Molotov, perhaps, or got naded by a teammate. I'm not sure. But it shouldn't make a whole world of difference, because Aiko does have that AWP. It is vaguely doable, as you say. The thing is, if Aiko had the bomb and was able to grab it and go over toward A, that would be brilliant. But danistzz, in the end, will just swing straight into Aiko. It was definitely risky, but he'll hit the headshot. That's all that matters. We'll close the gap to 1 again. Money is okay for m1x. They can get some form of buy in this final round of the first half, but it's not going to be perfect.
I feel like it's been a game of some broken buys for both teams throughout this half so far. m1x have kind of thrived in and amongst that chaos, as you would expect, as has been kind of synonymous with the core. Sangal have done well to win that gun round. Really important, because if they go down 7-4 with a broken buy in the last 8-4 looks likely, and considering that they started out 3-1, that would be far less than desirable. Norway 14-5. He's having a game, Trav, as is Kenzie. Patsi, a name we haven't said all that much. Probably got to be looked at as the star rather of the Sangal roster, right?
Yeah, I would agree.
Wasn't he a top 20 player in like 2022 or something like that?
I mean, I wish for some of these players on Sangal to really prove that they are still at the top of their game, especially Patsi, after knowing what he was able to do in Tier 1 Counter-Strike. This round has not gone too well for Sangal, though. It's a kill from Bolt, it's a kill from Flatro, and now Acor alongside Rigon. We're going to get Team Ace to finish off this half. We are not, but it doesn't damn matter. It's a great performance from m1x so far on their favoured side, I think it has to be said. We'll see if they can continue to deliver after the break.
Everybody know we gon' do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. Everybody know we gon' do it like this. Straight from the underground. Everybody know we gon' do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. Everybody know we gon' do it like this, do it like this. Straight from the underground. Everybody know we gon' do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. Everybody know we gon' do it like this. Straight from the underground. Everybody know we gon' do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. Everybody know we gon' do it like this.
As he turns it, nice headshot.
And we're back. m1x brute forcing their way to a 7-5 on the T side of Ancient. However, it's CT side, so as a mixed team, sometimes that can be a little bit more difficult. Can Sangal recover this one?
Yeah, I think Sangal are going to feel a little bit frustrated that they don't get more than 5 rounds out of the first half. They were up 3-1 at one point. They only won, I think, 2 gun rounds throughout the rest of the half there. So not super convincing from them. They've got a lot of reps on this map as well. So certainly an element of comfortability now coming into this T side. danistzz goes searching with the P250 and Rigon says, I'm going to stand and bang, mate. I'm not falling back at your presence.
Flatcho's got an incendiary of all things in the pistol round, which actually does keep them at bay. Sometimes you can just disrespect that because of how bad the incendiaries are, but it's done its job for now. It's an expensive one, but it's kept them a little bit back in toward Jag and Shelf and Lane. Delayed them a little bit to allow for a bit more of a rotation. Bomb is over toward the B side of the map right now. They do have a lurk in Clax over toward A. They are kind of dispersing around the B site now, are Mix. Looking for information, pushing into Jag. This could be really bad timing. Kenzie spotted one. That is Flatro. It still kind of means everything, and that's why Flatro is going to fall back and try and stay alive. Acor, great tap with the P2K. That's a 5v3.
Yeah, they're going back to Clax now, who's been able to figure out to say bomb site's completely open, and he's gone all the way into Temple. He recognizes he can't just remain in position, but he has to also make a play from this position. Bolt finds a clean tap. Clax eventually comes away with the kill. That obviously compromises his position in the back line, so continues to charge forward, and he has his head ripped off. Volt is on a swivel.
Yeah, quite literally. Like, we saw the first kill from Volt. The second and the third, instant. That swivel was very accurate indeed. Sangal, no plant. That means full eco. Usually, at least, anyway. And Mix have a chance to get a 9-5 lead on their map pick. There is a reason why I thought this one would go at least the 2 maps today. I think a 3-mapper was kind of guaranteed in my eyes with knowing how Mix can play, but we'll have to see. Sangal, it's still the same team that was Astrum. It's not like it's a complete revamp of the roster that they need to kind of learn with. The only player that does need to understand the workings of the team is danistzz, obviously. So we shall see if they can maybe make a little bit of a comeback here. Rigor needs to hold the line against the Glocks. Good information. He realizes they're pushing toward him. He needs to be careful. One is just about enough. Sinnopsyy is trying to stop him from getting toward that M4. Long-range MP9 spray is not nice to watch. It's always difficult. The M4 has now been retrieved, and Clax set a dig toward Flatro. Suddenly, this is a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, it is, especially with sinnopsyy being on 19 health. Yeah, Acor's on the site itself. He's going to find a frag, but then get traded out, and Clax has found another. It's only sinnopsyy left, the guy who's on low health. Sangal, what are you about to have done here? Can sinnopsyy save the day? danistzz has the M4 full health, but no armor. And it's going to be sinnopsyy on the headshot.
That's huge. And sinnopsyy takes a massive gamble there by running into the open on low HP, because he knows the only likely way he wins that round is if he plays the headshot angle behind the default boxes. Protect your body. Only have a head to aim at if you're the M4 player. And Mix will get away with it, just about. But now, of course, with only surviving with 1 alive, they didn't build up any cash at all against a 0 investment round from Sangal. So a chance for Sangal to break them immediately.
Yeah, that's the opportunity that presents itself, and it's one that has to be taken, Trav. There's no 2 ways about it here for Sangal. It's win the gun round or bust, basically. And that's a great way to open up straight through the smoke. Rigon's just been destroyed by Norway. Perfect crosshair placement, great timing on the shots there as well. And now sinnopsyy is the only player on this half of the map, and he's dead as well.
Yeah, it's a massive wide swing from Norway. There's no way you'll be able to hold to that if you're sinnopsyy. It's an angle that's not really favoured for you either. So that's the A site taken. If you're Mix here, you should be saving. Giving this one a look. 39s to keep is frustrating to only have that lesser weaponry in play to keep. But they do have the Acor AWP, and they do have the M4 below Flatro. Pick up the kit and the M4 and get out of there. But Sangal can afford, if they want to maybe put 1 or 2 players into Hunt. No more than that, but they know that Mix's money is also nowhere.
Of course, we've concluded a couple of the qualifiers in some of the other regions already. Or have we? We've done the Asian... Oh, these are the open qualifiers, right? Okay, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. Let's have a look at the closed qualifiers themselves. Now,
yeah.
it's also time before we figure out which team is qualified for Pro League from the respective regions. North America, the closest to being concluded. M80 surely got to be the team in North America to grab that spot. That makes the most sense to me, at least.
It does, but, you know, that Getting Info roster did beat them in that upper final, so... There's some known players in there with Markey involved, and, you know, Dare and Snav and people, so definitely risky. Hotu are waiting in the Asia closed qualifier final at the moment. That's some known players from that sort of Kazakh scene with Lampada, Kado, Frontales, who came from Hester, Duke Vizura as well. Chinggis Warriors are currently battling IHC in the lower bracket to try and get out there. Good peek into a mid from Sangal early round, playing aggressively. Bit whiffy from Norvi, but he got his one. And the damage has been significant on sinnopsyy to recover this into a 3v3. So it has to be Acor to help them out here. And Kenzie could just flank the flanker of sinnopsyy here.
Problem is the timing, Trav. Acor's going to get the kill and he's going to get out of dodge. And I think that sinnopsyy might be too far ahead here for Kenzie. He's going to round the corner. danistzz is a dead man. Bomb has been dropped. He's going to go back. He's spotted the head out. He's now got the info on Kenzie's position. A 3v1. Kenzie forcing the issue. Looks to get ahead of the molly, but sinnopsyy will still come out on top of the fight anyway.
Hugely important kills from sinnopsyy at the early stages of the CT half. Winning that anti-eco on low HP with the MP9 in the 1v2. And getting the perfect flank there to drop the bomb carrier. Acor, crucial part of it as well.
He actually ran a little bit on the flank there, initially coming through from elbow, and I think that's what made the difference of him getting ahead of Kenzie, you know? That confidence to not just shift walk the entire way on the flank, but get a move on made the difference.
M1x creeping toward map 1. It's not your everyday mixed team, this one. It's one with some great name value. There were some great mixed teams, actually, that were playing in those open qualifiers.
Oh, wow.
This is the only one that made it through to the closed. There are teams with Flammus and Degster playing even, with the likes of Jerry. And, you know, Roller Coaster have got players like Norbert involved, playing with all these guys. And you would think, okay, well, oh my god, there are major winners playing in this open qualifier. Maybe they will make it through. No, it is Mix that are making it through right now and looking super good with it. What a great round that was. Everyone kind of just winning their duels heads up. And it's 11-6 with Sangal and Nico.
Yeah, they got 2 kills as a result of breaking open that top mid smoke. One nade to break open that lone smoke, and both Acor and, I think was it Rigon, feasts on in middle there. That just immediately stifles around for Sangal, shuts it down, and they're going to have to eco and try and play for overtime. And I don't see a world in which it's going to be happening based on what we've seen so far throughout the map. Mix are looking really good across the board, right? Everybody between 15 and 11 frags, everybody either positive or neutral in their kill-death ratio, compared to Sangal, where you've got quite a top-heavy scoreboard with Norway 18 and 10, and then a number of players kind of languishing quite far below that.
Flash over the top from Volt. Pistols got close last time, and it was a worse buy than this one. So they do need to be wary. Volt has stopped the advance of Clax up ramp. Trying to get ahead of the smoke, not allowed to. Yeah, it's just incredibly solid thus far. Good spray from Blatro. He's been super aggressive, as is his nature in this game so far. And it's been working out for him. It'll be a whole different tale perhaps on Train coming up second after this one. But we shall see. danistzz, that's his best moment of the game. 2 spicy digs on Flatro and Volt. But Acor will stop his advance. 12-6, double the score of Sangal. Plenty of map points to work with.
Yeah, 6 of them. That is a huge runway for them to get the job done here on Ancients. It is their map pick, and we go to Train next, so I'm not, like, super concerned for Sangal, but I definitely was expecting more from them here in this first map. It's a map they've got a lot of reps on, a map that they're generally pretty competitive on. So this isn't the debut they would have been hoping for, at least not the way that they would have wanted to start the debut with their new org. More fighting on the front lines, more aggression coming through from Mix, and it's going to be Volt also looking to try and get in and amongst the plays being made. Sangal will punish Volto, and that opens up a path into the speed bomb site. One Flatro, not expecting Kenzie to have come through the smoke, and Rigon can't do much about it, at least not immediately. Kenzie's going to get some support now as well from a couple of his teammates, and this is looking great for Sangal.
Yeah, that was really nice from Kenzie, not just slipping the gap on one, but then actually just not over-peaking toward that push from Rigon. So we will delay it a little bit. There's no win for Mix just yet. sinnopsyy will try and save the AK. A smoke and a nade to keep as well, and that defuse kit. Pretty handy. Now I'll try and maybe fall back a little bit further. There's plenty of time on the bomb, though, for him to try and escape with. If he wants to, he can actually try and look to do some damage, but that is what he tries. danistzz will say not today.
And an important round won by Sangal. Good to see that they didn't go into their shell either. They're still playing their brand of Counter-Strike, even though it was 12-6 and they're on the brink of losing the map. They're still sticking to their guns, backing themselves, and it looked good in that round. A lot more work to be done. Couple MP9s in the mix here for Mix. You win this 12-8, and 12-9. Reads a little bit better than 12-6. And again, early space being taken by Sangal. Oh, Acor looking to get in on the mix here as well. Going to phase through the smoke, gets the frag on Patsi. And all that does is now potentially bait in Juan Flatro as well.
Damn, what a way to get the opening kill. Flatro's not been, as you say, kind of telegraphed at all here for Sangal. Great, really entertaining map this has been. Could be about to be closed out here.
Where do Sangal go from here? Because they've got Klax in a pretty powerful position in towards Red Room. He can either try and activate and see if he can draw attention away from his teammates, or he could go for that later flank roll, try and circumvent rotations. sinnopsyy, oh my goodness. I mean, he borderline doubles down. First frag on the AWP and does so much damage to Norway as well. And that forces Klax to activate. He's now had to give up his position by throwing the molly, so Acor can remain here confidently. And he's going to hit the shot as well. Wheels are falling off now, if they haven't already.
Not the best debut for this Sangal project, obviously, taking in the Astrum roster. Still technically playing with a stand-in in Kenzie, but he was a part of the team before. So, this is not a great look to begin with. This mixed team is dangerous, and we're seeing that firsthand. Kenzie, great kill there, but Acor, great reaction again. 3 kills for Acor. It's down to a 13 HP Norvi clutch with an AWP. He's managed to get in toward B and get that bomb planted. It's going to be very, very difficult to win. And Acor just completely outpeaked him with the AWP. Quad kill to end off the game. And Mix have won the opening map. It is their pick. Train is next. That's usually the confident home of the Sangal players when they were playing on that Astrum roster. But they're going to have to deliver because they could be on the edge of elimination.
Yeah, the problem for me is that it's not like Ancients is a punish pick against this team at all. It's not like Ancients is a map that Sangal wouldn't be comfortable losing on Ancients.
No, it was totally comfortable. And yeah, even though there were some rounds in the middle of the game where you could say that it could have been back and forth, it could have broken the economy the other way, they recovered from that quickly. They won a couple of the important rounds to keep Sangal's money honest. And yeah, they go in 1-0 in front into Train. And mentioning about Train and how much the Astrum core have played it. They've lost it to NIP recently, but they've beaten Ruby, they've beaten Monty, had a streak of beating Big, Passion UA, Paravision, Sashi on the map back a couple of months ago. So it's definitely one they're very, very comfortable on. And obviously Mix, coming in as a brand new Mix together, they're not going to play a hell of a lot of Train. They've played it once as the Bad News Eagles core, but that was back quite a while ago, back a couple of months. So that doesn't really count. Let's see if they can show what they're made of with Acor and Volt here. Pistol round is underway. Norvi's got the utility, and we're walking our way toward Brown Halls.
We've seen these Julius do some damage already. sinnopsyy getting info. How long does he hang around for is the question. He's kind of baited Volt in here potentially. Nobody connecting on their shots. Rigon is also going to get on the act now. 3 players have taken contact for Mix, and they've gotten a kill, but they've taken a lot of damage for their troubles. I'm surprised that Sangal are still looking to potentially commit into this B-bomb site, knowing that there are certainly at least 2 players home. A third's arrived. They're going to pump the brakes, and they're hoping that maybe as they've slowed this down, Mix start to think that they're rotating in towards A.
Yeah, that's why sinnopsyy's going to have a push upper to try and look for some information. He could catch one. Oh, I don't think he's seen any. He's got a good position here. I don't think they'll pre-fire this by any stretch of the imagination. And actually, he's going to continue to push. If he goes down pop, he could have 3 players looking the wrong way. sinnopsyy, what are you doing here? Got to be careful. Oh, he's managed to get the first. And on the recoil, he's got the second headshot as well. danistzz playing in the smoke. Will it be checked by sinnopsyy? Of course it will. He has been in everywhere, honestly, over the course of the game so far. Ancient, he was... the main guy was providing a couple of the critical multi-kills on the flanks, on these recoveries, and he's done it again on the pistol here.
How does he have the confidence to keep walking forward while shooting into the smoke there? He gets like 2 or 3 bullets in the magazines, then he just gets the headshot of the player in the corner. danistzz must have been thinking, this guy's a madman. I'm petrified of him.
That was beautiful. They're in the minds of Sangal. sinnopsyy is, at least. Volt will hear them charging through toward B, get his utility down ASAP, and it's pretty good utility at that as well. He should get 1, he should get 2, but a little bit whiffy. Does it matter? Probably not. Look at the damage sinnopsyy has done. Look where Acor is. He has blocked them off entirely. 4 spy, deleted, still 3 players alive, and Sangal now will have to go for their eco.
Ideal start here for Mix on their CT side. Good job to win the pistol, get the job done against the Force as well. Sangal spending their money despite not getting the bomb down, hoping maybe they can catch their opponents off guard. Now they're going to have to bend the knee though. Mix just looked so good across the board on Ancient Trav, and I don't feel like that was a map-specific display coming through from them because it was a very simple T side in particular. And they continue to flex their muscles, maybe a little bit too much.
Be careful. That nade will come flying in, and it with no armor on Clax. It's a 96 damage nade. Pretty crazy. They still have the 5v4 intact. Mix needs to know they can't afford to make any mistakes on these sorts of rounds if they're to get this one done cleanly.
You don't want to lose too many players here unnecessarily. You don't really have to go searching here either. They play by their own rules though, Trav, as they always have.
Oh dear. MPI
Man, guys, this is against the eco. Why are they searching everywhere?
It's bad news Eagles, dude. It's
I know,
the bad
I
news
know.
Eagles mentality. I understand BNE as a full 5. Like, I've done kind of nothing in the last couple of years, right? But they've still got something about them, and you know, I think without sinnopsyy and GXX, who I would say, this might be rude, but I do think arguably they kind of held them back a little bit. This could be a new era for these 3 players, and I'm not saying that they're going to win everything or anything like that. I'm just saying they're going to maybe be a dangerous team in Tier 2 with this new roster if they continue to play together.
That's a good point. I mean, it certainly is exciting. Volt going to get the frag for free, steps out for more, cleans up Kenzie as well. It's kind of funny there for sinnopsyy pushing through brown holes. It was like he's playing a game of whack-a-mole with the 3 players on the stairs, all just peeking up one by one. Eventually gets overwhelmed. Not a bad eco round for Sangal, collecting 2 kills in the process. As we go into the first gun round, there won't be an AWP in play here on the T side of the server, which means Acor is going to have free reign. Now, I'm going to watch him closely here on the CT side, Trav. I mean, remember, Acor on Old Train was a beast, an absolute menace. With his kind of movement in CSGO, this map was his bread and butter. Obviously, CS2, completely different in that regard. We shed a tear as a result, but let's see what Acor can do on the half of the York here.
Yeah, the playing around the trains on the Old Train was definitely one of the skills of the likes of an Acor, the likes of a Fallen, obviously. He's probably the main guy that everyone talks about. If you to pick up a player or talk about a player that was god tier on the Old Train, you'd probably say Kenny or Fallen. I think those are the 2 for me that you should remember the movement of those 2. And,
yeah, Guardian.
And Guardian as well, to be fair, yeah. Just you remember the movement and how they used to play it, and how they used to jump around the trains and make themselves look like they were unbeatable. So, yeah, we're waiting to find a player who can maybe do that again. It was Woxic, funnily enough, in the early stages of Train when it was added to the pool. He was incredible on Internal Fire / Aurora on Train, but they fell off pretty drastically on the map after that. Anyway, to the here and now. Volt has repositioned toward Cloud. He's got support from Rigon. Once again, Sangal wandering over toward B.
Are they going to send everybody through heaven right now? They've got 4 players And they're going to be breaching through off the back of a flash. Rigon's going to get caught with utility out. That's a really good first frag found. And they've got the info on Volt's position. Normally, this position's really good to at least get a kill before you have to give up the game. They now know that he's here, and they'll be able to root him out.
It's a solid take. And, as you say, rooting out the positions of m1x there. Acorn knows that falling back with the AWP, maybe getting back toward Ivy to keep it into the next round is imperative. Especially with the deep control that danistzz has toward that CT entrance. So,
yeah,
very important opening T round for Sangal. They're going to keep 4 players alive as well by the looks of things. They need that as a settler, for sure.
Yeah, m1x was just never expecting so many players to be coming through from the top side of the B-bomb site so quickly. Rigon caught with the util out, Volt not able to get a kill. Acorn's going to hang around, and he gets around the corner. We're looking to find some parting frags, though. I don't know if it's really worth him hunting this much. I mean, keeping the AWP is actually of utmost importance right now, which he will. And that means they'll be able to drop a couple weapons here and have a full arsenal of weapons going into the next round.
I do wonder where Sangal will go. I'm not going to say that, obviously, losing to m1x today is not an absolute, roster-ending nightmare. Sangal have only just picked them up. But, of course, Kenzie, even though he played with the Astrum core, is technically a stand-in. So you wonder who they're actually going to try and pick up next after that. He's only a stand-in for these quals, as far as I understand. But he's playing okay here. Another good entry pathing toward A. This is one thing that Sangal are pretty good at. These players have been very confident and consistent on train historically. And
yeah,
they couldn't hold on here, m1x, in this round.
It's why Sangal just have to keep their heads. I mean, single elimination bracket can certainly wreak some havoc after losing the first map in particular. 1 map away from being eliminated at the first hurdle. Far less than ideal, but they got to just keep their heads and know, well, we're on train now, boys. This is our pick. This is our map, our bread and butter. And we go to Mirage next. And that's our peanut butter and jam to go with our bread and butter. It's the perfect sandwich.
What's your perfect sandwich?
Honestly, it's got to be ham, cheese, and tomato. Simple, man. Maybe a little bit of mayo in the mix as well. You can add pickles if you really want to get adventurous with it, but I think ham, cheese, and tomato is a classic.
Yeah, that makes sense for you. You are.
Yeah, I know. I know you wouldn't go for that.
No, I wouldn't. But I know you're a man of a good classic. So
that's true. I do like the classics. Underrated, Trav, has to be cucumber, butter, and salt, mate. That's a combination most people probably turn their noses up, but I enjoy that one as well.
Low key, that's kind of what I have too, pretty often. So I am a guy that likes a bit of the cucumber. I don't know my good mate and colleague Neo. He hates cucumber, and I'm like,
that's weird.
Cucumber doesn't even really taste of much.
That's why it's weird. It's like, I understand if you're not a big fan of it, but to hate it, like to despise it, is a bit.
I watched him pick it out of his thing he bought the other day, and like a particular restaurant we were in. So
I swear, if he wasn't told it was there, he would have just eaten it, and never actually realized it was there.
No, I know him. He would have.
Come on, Neo.
He would have done it, I think.
What are we doing here, mate?
danistzz has dropped from the server temporarily, so hopefully we'll get him back shortly.
In the meantime, a little fly through.
A little fly through indeed. And I think as well, Matt, one of the important things for me, for this m1x roster, is that if they are to actually somehow win this game, I say somehow, they're looking very good right now. If they're to play Namiga in round 2 and beat them,
for them,
because it's winnable, because they don't have Zway anymore, are we looking at a situation here where they would actually think about staying together and playing more together? Surely, no?
I don't think reaching the next stage of the brackets is enough for them to be like, okay, this project has to be fully invested into. But you got to also then think, well, what is the alternative? If they don't have any other alternatives, then why not, right?
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, that's the thing, right? You need to keep a VRS core, and they are keeping a VRS core, technically, with Rigon, Flatcher, and sinnopsyy. But it's a question of whether that actually gives them a good enough ranking at all to really play in anything, because the only reason they're here is because we've actually got an open qualifier. Shout out ESL for running an open qualifier for one of their big events, because it's very important to still have a few of those in the scene. Great pick from Acor on this next round here for Mix, where they have the saved M4, they have the saved AWP, so they need to make plays with it, and it's not just trying to kill with the USP. Flatcho's found one with the MP9 as well. This one is falling apart for Sangal.
It's fallen apart at the seams. It's only Clax left remaining to try and glue these pieces back together. He's going straight through the smoke. Volt's on the other side. That frag is as free as they come. Oh, man. I mean, Acor was the one who kind of sets that in motion with his aggressive play initially with the orb to find the opening pick. And then sinnopsyy with the USP has gotten a kill as well. I think that was in towards A main. Oh, Sangal. That's just a disastrous round for them to lose in the grand scheme of things.
That's very disappointing. Had a chance there to maybe get back into the game a little bit. Would have been 3-all. They would have maybe removed, if they were lucky, they could have maybe removed the AWP from play and forced that economy down as it is. Mix winning on that half investment. Acor and Volt's banks are looking a lot healthier.
If they lose this round here, Sangal that is, 5-2 becomes 6-2, and then I think that the panic might start to set in. The realization that they're actually on the brink of getting eliminated from the qualifier at the first matchup they've been seeded into. Going to slow things down quite drastically compared to what we've seen from them in the rounds they've won. First round they won, the first gun round, was just numbers out of heaven into B. Second one was just barreling out of A main into A. Here, a bit more of a tempered approach. It's going to be utility into the A bomb site, sandwich smoke thrown to try and draw the attention away from Ivy, but Acor still kind of checking back occasionally. Oh, lovely pop flash. Everyone blind, but he can't connect.
Yeah, that's classic Acor, I feel like. Holding an angle as tight as this, though, is going to be very hard for him to hit it. Now he's been flashed off the angle. So a bit of a taste of his own medicine. Well played, danistzz, to get that one. That leaves Rigon kind of walking around the site, unsure where to look first. There's still multiple players here, but Flatcho can't connect with more than one. And Patsi will trade out sinnopsyy in the end. Volt's rotating in from Pop, but 4 kills will be too much for him.
Yeah, it does feel like Acor had to respect that flash, right? He couldn't afford to peek back into that angle. Was well worked from Sangal, just really good util usage. Acor probably needed to hit the shot initially there in towards Ivy as well. He had done well to kind of invent that opportunity with the pop flash. But it's going to be Sangal with a bit of a contrasting approach compared to how they've won the rounds before this, as they draw within one once again.
The AK save will be nice, because the money that Volt got from winning that round previously on the half-buy, the saved weapons, means that he can either drop an AWP or drop a couple of rifles, actually, over. Acor, of course, can buy, but it would be without any utility if they want to get the AWP back in play. It looks like they are going to commit to rifles instead. Maybe slightly surprising, considering how imperative the AWP is on train.
Yeah. I think they want to try and keep up as much pressure as possible here. We do have a bit of a pause to maybe discuss the situation a bit more before we get into the action. Talk about how they want to distribute their money.
Yeah, use attack now. Maybe they use attack by accident there and not attack.
Might have, yeah. And actually, Volt's dropped an AWP here, so they're going to have that sniper rifle. It's actually a pretty decent arsenal of weapons, considering what I thought it was going to look like at one point.
Yeah, I'm happy to see it drop. I thought I didn't see it at the beginning when everything was originally
There was a lot going
between
on,
them.
yeah.
But I'm glad they got it out.
And that's probably something that's going to take, like that's just a symptom of the mixed team, them coming in English now. Obviously, Acor and Volt will be super used to it at this point in their career. Rigon, Juan Flatra, and sinnopsyy. I mean, I don't know exactly what language they would have been speaking under Bad News Eagles, and genuinely probably not even worth just trying to guess. But they are all very proficient at English, right? They're all,
Yes, exactly.
all very used to coming in English as well. Rigon was calling in German for a while when he was playing in Big. He's been all over the world, essentially, in terms of the language he's spoken in the game.
Indeed. Oh, that's annoying for Volt. He took his time then. Actually thought like he was feeling... It was a good time to throw that incendiary, considering where sinnopsyy was. But at least sinnopsyy was able to get that trade immediately and then push back down through B to pick up the AK that was lost. kenzie 14 HP given the AWP. Obviously, classic rule of long term in Counter-Strike where you want that one shot, one kill capability on the AWP player if you're low HP, rather than having to take a duel with a rifle. Flatcho did keep them honest in toward main, and he does have a resmoke. If he throws it as soon as he sees some information, he could have some work to do with this MP9. Had a great series so far, playing giga aggressive as we know he can do, to great effect on Ancient. And now with this MP9 up to 73 already on Train, that's going to waste another 15 seconds off the clock here.
Yeah, I don't know if they have the luxury of waiting for the smoke to completely fade. They're going to try and go through it. One Flatro waiting on the other side has done so much damage. No frags found. Nate might though. Yes. Doubles down. Takes full advantage. sinnopsyy once more. And he will take more. Ruling with an iron fist. Rigon says, mate, share the spoils with me. Sure, he denies the ace, but that's the least of Mix's worries.
Oh, sinnopsyy, another quad kill. We saw a quad kill on the pistol with those dualies. Now another one on the rifle round with 2 HE kills. The double dunk, baby. Extra flavor on that one. And he'll be thanking Flatro for all that damage he did. No kills for Flatro in that round whatsoever. But I think he did over 100 damage total.
Very good hold. And this is again where Sangal might trip up, where they've had to just piece together a less than ideal investment. But this is what they have at their disposal. Light on utility. And they're going to venture back in towards this B bomb site where Volt's had a bit of a tough time of it so far. Hasn't looked super comfortable. And there's no imminent support for him either. And this hit's about to come through.
It's what Volt's been kind of known for in the more latter stages, or current stages really, of his career, to be fair. He's very happy to play the tough roles, play those anchor positions. He usually does them to pretty great effect. I mean, as I said, it's been a slight struggle here. Now avoiding the bullets through the smoke upper is going to be awkward. Needs a couple. One is okay. Because there was a rotation in from Acor, but Acor has missed a critical shot. Flatro trying to respond. We'll get one in now. Rigon is here, and so is sinnopsyy on that flank again. How many times has sinnopsyy been flanking to good effect? But that one's difficult. Norvi pushes up the stairs at a really awkward angle for sinnopsyy. He can't connect with the headshot. There is one back to Flatro, though. He's been able to recover it into a 2v2, and Norvi and danistzz are not exactly healthy. Smoke on the bomb, but danistzz will peek nicely and deal with Rigon. It's all down to Flatro. He's got 3 kills, and he's still 100 HP. Norvi playing from heaven. He's very aware, Flatro, that's probably where he could be positioning himself, and he's just going to hold the defuse in the smoke. Not found yet by Norvi until the last second. Sangal just about get away with their 4th.
Oh man, and they needed that round as well. Something Sangal are doing particularly well in this map so far is winning these rounds where if they lose them, it feels like the wheels might just come off entirely. But they've kept themselves in it. We've just trading rounds back and forth here on Train so far. Got to think about that missed shot there from Acor Trav, the first responder on the scene there. He's missed a couple key shots now on Train so far that probably have had quite a great impact on the outcome of the round.
Suddenly that changes things a little bit, right? Mix are now 5-4 in the lead, but they're on an eco here. sinnopsyy should be checked. There we go. Something cheeky. Never going to work out really from there. Pistols will try and force Norvi out the round. It will. And Patsi actually, he gets one before he has teammate support. That teammate support in the end takes him out of the round. But it doesn't matter. danistzz got 3. They kept 3 players alive. We're getting toward the end of the half anyway. Back even at 5. All and Mix will be able to get that AWP back out on Acor with their full buy.
I think 5 is still actually somewhat doable for Mix going into their T-side here on Train. I know it's a CT-sided map, but it's not like a mega CT-sided map like it was historically. I think just, you know, with the prowess that they have across the board on all 5 of these players means they're such a dangerous T-side team when it's grouped up playing their 4-1 hits. It can be really difficult to contain. So I feel like they've already done enough to give themselves a chance, but anything more on top here certainly does give them a better opportunity, obviously. sinnopsyy, yeah, I was going to say, it looks like he's going to get caught off by kenzie and A main already, and that's exactly what happens.
And a good kill from Flatro. Doing some amazing work on the M4A4 right now. And sometimes he can just get into these flow state moods where he just doesn't miss the spray downs. But he will eventually go down. And now Acorn naded out from the backside. It's Volt rotating from B. They know he is the B player, and he's been jump spotted as well. That's even more annoying for him. No way you're winning that clutch. And Sangal will have a lead on T side, or at least a lead on T side, going into that second half now. Because they've got a 6, they've got at least a tie. They could make it a 7th.
They should make it a 7th, considering the investment or lack thereof here for Mix coming into the last round of the half. First time they've led here on the map as well. Good fight back on their T side, making sure they didn't drop their heads when things kind of started to go awry. At least that's how it felt. Rigon is a demon on the scout, but he's had a really tough day in the office here, Trav. Just 1 kill to his name throughout the half so far.
Volt playing close with the MP9 for the first time, really, but only Acorn able to get the kill in the end. The Deagle of sinnopsyy is being spammed away and does well to find the 1. At least activates Flatro to come in on the trade peak pretty instantly, to be fair. So they have recovered a 2v2, but it's an MP9 and a Scout up against the AK and the AWP.
Yeah, not really too even in terms of the weapons that the teams have coming into this. danistzz, is he just going to phase through the smoke? That is insanely confident. He decides against it, though. And in fact, they're going to just pivot now through pop into A. They're hoping that the utility that they've thrown in the presence they've shown is enough to draw the attention away from this bomb site. But Rigon might not be expected to come through from here. He's going to get smoked off. In the meantime, Juan Flatro already on his little bicycle. He's already got the flank being committed. Rigon's gone through with the USP. He won't be able to deny the plant. He gets the kill. The activation from Pop going to come through in time. Only just.
Oh my word. How on earth have they been able to recover that with that weaponry in that situation? Rigon only just, as you rightly said, getting that USP kill. It allows Flatro to win that clutch. And they will just not go away. It's 6-all at half on train. See you in a minute.
As he turns it, nice headshot goal.
And we're back, 6-all between m1x and Sangal. Really impressive performance from the m1x boys so far today. We know they have the firepower, we know they have the ability to go along with their name value, and so far they're proving it. But T-side train, that will be a little bit more difficult. Sangal are in the driving seat at the moment.
They are indeed, and it's going to be kentzy with the Julies here looking to inflict damage early on. He's rattled off so many shots, he hasn't gotten kills, but that's okay. He's just playing the decoy right now while Klax collects the kills.
Klax got 3 through the smoke, or at least 2 of the 3 through the smoke. That's insane. What on earth? kentzy was absolutely the right player to watch there, without a shadow of a doubt, because you can't expect that from Klax. He's going to get 4 in the end on the pistol and just destroy the plans of the m1x boys.
Yeah, that's a massive pistol for Sangal to win, to just try and stop m1x from getting the job done in 2. I think m1x's chances have actually... I feel like... Okay, it's not like there's no chance of them winning the map from here, but I feel like their chances have dropped off quite drastically after not being able to pick up the pistol, which is generally the most, like, volatile and random aspect of a half. I think that would have aided their cause massively.
Oh, okay, Flatro. Shot. That's Klax removed. The hero of the pistol down already. sinnopsyy looking to try and creep through upper on a timing. Oh, Norby, you ready? You were looking at it, but you're going to get caught. That's a FAMAS now in the hands of sinnopsyy. Surely not. Surely not. Patsi says no. He finds both. And Acol will go down as well. Great performance here from Patsi. Great recovery. Eventually he'll be pushed out of the round by sinnopsyy. And actually, you know, with the FAMAS and the smoke and the bomb on his back, he could be able to do something here. But the main issue is the fact there's no armor. danistzz was ready for the rotation. So
Yeah,
there is the conversion.
Quite brave for him to peek up before the smoke actually blooms there, but still very good damage for m1x, finding 3 frags in the full eco. Now coming into the gun round with an opportunity to reset Sangal, and it feels like an opportunity that they absolutely have to take advantage of, right, Trav? If they lose this here 9-6, especially without a bomb plant eco in the next 10-6, that should be an unassailable lead for Sangal on their map pick.
Yeah, critical buy round. Patsi, a site player, playing close with kentzy. On top of the train in this one. m1x starting to put 2 or 3 players through Ivy, which is always a very tough position to entry in the modern train.
They're going fast as well.
Less information, and they're going to be, as you say, into a crossfire. They need to have some good flashes in play. They take quite a while to deal with Patsi, and Klax will deal with Juan Flatro because of that, but they do get their 2 for 1. They get control of that portion of the map. Now Ivy in sort of the held position as well could be available to them. They're going to crept forward and just waiting to see if Sangal goes searching.
Yeah, I like that m1x have slowed things down here as well. Like you say, looking to punish any plays that might be made by the CT side to try and tip the scales back in the team's favor. And that's exactly what Volt has just punished in Pop Dog. That completely opens up the A-bomb side. Plant going to come through as well. This should be round over. Norway and danistzz don't have any option but to head for the hills. Remember how bleak their economy is a result of losing 3 players against the eco as well.
Yeah, and the nade did significant damage toward danistzz as well. Put him down to 43. So playing exits here is the best way of going about things for sure. Important round for m1x. There's good chance they're going to keep 4 players alive as well to build up their money. Desperately required at this early stage of the second half. They're going to go hunting a little bit, and that's actually a good kill from Norby. Should stay alive.
Yeah, don't think that Acor is going to force the issue too much. Doesn't really have that luxury with the amount of money in the bank right now. Mixed draw within one. Once again, I spoke about how important that gun round is, what a key round it is early on in the half here for Mix, and they've been able to get it across the line. Now, we look at Sangal coming back into the equation with a force buy here. Trav, a scout, a FAMAS, a couple FAMASs in fact. Patsy's going to get an MP9. This is a brilliant opportunity for Mix to put Sangal on the back foot.
Again, they're looking to put some pressure toward Ivy, but there are two players here this time. Oh, what a reaction from Rigon. He was aiming at the scout of Klax and is able to transfer down and take the kill. He should go down, will go down to Flatro's position in T-main. And immediately 4v3 to work with. Smoke's going to fade over toward B. Volt's just watching for information over toward that side of the map right now. Just waiting to get information on what he needs to do later on in the round. Going to be a flash in. Flatro's full blind. Great bit of initiative there from Klax and Patsi.
That looks so much more convincing than what we saw from Kenzie just trying to walk through the smoke on a gamble. That's a much better way to go about taking the control. Seen a couple gamble pushes through smoke from Sangal so far. That one was a bit more egregious either way. Norway's had to go back into the B bombs fight. Decides to actually take the fight there with Volt. Kind of gives up his position. Volt's calling for his teammates to rotate into this B bomb site. Norway has at least been able to get a foothold in the site itself, but won't be able to do much about the plant.
No, this is the one position you kind of can play in Cloud that kind of delays it a little bit. It's not easy going to clear it properly.
How's
He
not
does
reading that,
not.
though?
And I agree. That is a bit of an oversight from sinnopsyy that should have been obvious to him. So, it's Volt and Acor, the two non-Bad News Eagles core players, to try and hold on. But Volt in a clutch, I've been mentioning it. He can come alive. 2 kills, but only 19 HP. Thing is, it's 8 HP on Norvi, but he has a better angle because he sees Volt's body first. He's got the defuse kit, and that is a critical 9th for Sangal.
He also has the confidence to edge his way forward in the 1v1s that when Volt steps off the site, he's not expecting Norway to be so far out at that point or be as close as he is, so the crosshair is not placed correctly. Just by virtue of really good decision making coming through there from Mr. Norway. Get the job done. He's been fragging like a madman throughout this match so far. He was doing really well on Ancient, kind of a shining light on the map there, and he delivers the goods here in this important round as well to stop Mix from leveling up the scoreline.
Yeah, he was playing very well on Ancient. It was all in vain, unfortunately. But that is a huge clutch. And yeah, it's difficult for Volt because he gets those 2 kills, plays it pretty much the best he can possibly play it, but then there's no way out of default. It's a very tough position to swing from when you're so low, even if your opponent is that low. So, Kenzie playing close main again. Could be in a bit of danger. Volt's been able to punish Norvi's aggression over toward the B side of the map at the moment. Brings it back into a 4v4. Kenzie does need to be careful, because right now I think what's good for Sangal is they kind of got full control over toward B. If you look at Patsi and Danisz's position, it's too strong at the moment.
The thing is this round is predicated off of these forward positions. If they go down, it's just immediately round over because there's no second wave of defense on that B bomb site. And they will decide to fall back as the smoke starts to fade. They've bled quite a lot of utility to maintain those forward positions, but now with 44 seconds on the clock, Mix have to start to make some moves.
I've got some util primed. Flatro, once again, looking for his duel against Kenzie. Will there be a flash? Will it be going in dry? It looks pretty dry to me, and that should mean Kenzie gets the kill. It's a free AK on the ground, and now he knows that Pop is the biggest threat. AK drawn, he's going to hear them running out. 2 bullets to the smoke. There we go. Deals with Acor, and Klax toward Hell will easily stop Rigon. Volt will drop as well. And just like that, Sangal have a 10-7 lead with Mix on a low buy.
It's all coming together very nicely for Sangal here on the CT side. I mean, you can see that they're feeling confident with the way that they're setting themselves up, with the way that they're taking fights on the front lines right now. They're suffocating Mix. They're never really letting Mix get into the swing of things in the round. There's always some sort of a play being made by the CT side right now. And this should be a pretty easy 11th round on the board now for Sangal as they can build their lead to 4.
Finally some comfort in the series. They haven't had any of it at all, really, Sangal. Rain is usually their comfort home.
And it's Mirage next, Trav, which is like almost equally as comfortable for the Sangal roster. That's why I was saying it's really important they keep their heads after having lost on Ancient, because that can happen. It's a good map for them, but it's not as good. It's not the same echelon as Train and Mirage, and that's where they have to keep their faith.
That is very true. The thing is, you've got to remember that historically, One Flat is having a good series here, and Mirage has been one of his playgrounds, like, for years. So, he's looking forward to seeing if he can step up as well. Nice shot Acor, but he will go down. 11-7 Sangal. Little update, of course, what's been going on elsewhere as well. We've got a bit of a goofy one in the other match that was meant to be played in this bracket. I believe OneWin did their veto, all well and good, but then they didn't ready up on time. So Sashi got a forfeit win. Sashi got a forfeit win. Not just one map, the entire series.
Yeah.
So Sashi go through to tomorrow to play against Liquid, of all teams. So that's going to be a pretty crazy test for them.
I mean, imagine you wake up in the day, you know, okay, cool, we're setting off in the closed qualifier today, opening match against, pretty winnable team in Sashi for that one-win roster. Cool, we've done the veto, boys, locked in, DMing. Wait, what? What's that? We haven't... What? We're forfeit? That's the end of it? Like, we didn't even get to play a single round. That sucks so much for them, but sounds like no one's fault but their own.
Yeah, we don't know the inner workings of that one. We only know what it says on HLTV, so we'll just keep it at that information for now. We'll have to figure out maybe we'll see some tweets later, actually, what went on there. Who knows?
Must-win round here for Mix, Trav.
Indeed, it is. And Acor's already been tagged down to 38. There's a much better performance from Sangal thus far. I expected as such on CT Train. Have been a lot better on this map compared to many others in their pool. Rigon's having a bit of a struggle, I'm afraid, as well. 3 and 15.
Yeah. Unfortunately, his time in the server hasn't really changed all that much as he switched halves, still having a tough day in the office. First time we're seeing the AWP on the T side here as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what Acor is going to be able to contribute. Nice position from Kenzie, going to spot the shadow, gets the clue, hangs around, further damage inflicted. Eventually, he will be punished for his transgressions of hanging around, but still going back and forth in the round at large. Big shot from danistzz to tip the scales in his team's favor, though.
And Acor's been naded out by Norvi. It's now down to sinnopsyy. He's done amazing things on this map so far, but he's distracted by the pot player. He knows there's a rotation in through Ivy, though, and now he's been shot once more by Klax, and he's got a path through to B to plant. Just enough time for it as well. 7 seconds on the clock. He's going to go for a fake, but Klax has read it. Klax has read it. I can't believe it. Klax is in the mind of sinnopsyy. He wants to try and take a gamble to go for a duel on 13 HP. I don't blame him, but it's also the one way you don't have a chance in the afterplant.
Oh man, it just kind of occurred to Klax in his mind, hang on, maybe he's just faking the plant, and if he is, there's no time for him to plant the bomb afterwards. If he does commit to the plant, well, I still have a 1v1 with an HP advantage, so it's actually just really intelligent there from Klax to pump the brakes.
Yeah, total realization. Klax is kind of the one player on Sangal and how he's looked on Astrum as well, which I would kind of put in the conversation of, okay, he's the smart one. He's the insurance policy player in the team that doesn't have to be giga aggressive all the time.
Yeah. It tends to be the case with the anchor players, alright? It's a lot more about positioning, playing the situation, staying alive, not just about brutality. And we're going to see some brutality here from Klax this time round. 3 kills coming through from him. Oh my goodness, he's just dropping the hammer on Mix, and it's going to be Mix who dropped the map. Sangal level up the series. And that was a very good display coming through from them on their map.
Especially on CT. 6-6 first half, Mix find 1 round on T-side Train. And that's honestly, you know, for a mixed team on a map that you've barely played, in fact haven't played at all, this particular roster, only with the core about him, and playing on Mirage historically, which has always looked so damn good, right? I mean, you look at his match history recently. Yeah, he played it, of course, a little bit for Kosovo on LAN at the ISF Championships. Yeah, played very well there. Has got a pretty good rating to boast of the last 3 months as well. And Mirage, I've always seen him just be a nuisance around mid, push into window, get himself control of murder hole, and maybe even get a couple of kills in that position. You'll see that a couple of times this half. I'm sure Sangal will be very aware of that, but you never know. He could deliver once again, and we could see a bit of an upset here. We saw it in map 1. with how good Mix can play. We'll see if they can do it on Mirage, a home where they're a little bit more comfortable with, but as you rightly said, Sangal are also very comfortable here themselves. So we shall see. We're underway. Pistol round is ready. Norvi has a smoke and a flash alongside with Klax's flash, and they're ready to go toward B.
Oh, sinnopsyy is here, jump spotting with the incendiary. There's going to be the util that comes over and gives him the clue. Incendiary's missed the mark though. That's a huge problem. It's not going to buy even a second for the rotations to come through. Sinnopsyy gets run over by a truck. That truck has a name. That name is danistzz. And it's going to be Sangal in full control of B with the plant.
Can they somehow find a way to get a couple of kills at least? Great pre-fire from behind Fletcher, and they haven't been able to trade him instantly. There's a possible glimmer of hope, but danistzz will be the man to snuff that out in its entirety. 2 more kills from him. He'll go down, but now Volt and Acor have both been gooshed down to very low HP, and in Acor's case, quite literally the one. He'll try and get away. He actually will get away. Going to get a long way away from that bomb to survive the explosion, but I think they're going to manage it. Klax is on the hunt, though. Chance to maybe get one, and he does hit the one bullet on Acor. Poor old Acor. He'll go down. No Kevlar saved. And next question whether Volt can save that Kevlar. Norvi will go down to the bomb. Doesn't matter. It's all about Kenzie versus Volt, and Kenzie will remove him. So no Kevlar kept over for Mix. Sangal will take the pistol.
Yeah, when in your wildest dreams have you seen a wallbang kill from Catwalk with a USP? Towards stairs? That is probably only something that could happen on onto someone who has a single point of health.
True.
Good kill. I mean, danistzz continues to just run over Mix there on that B bomb site. Does really good work in the post pond. It was looking a little bit scary at one point there for Sangal. Mix were on the brink of breaching back into B, but couldn't actually get through those choke points in the end. Going to be a 4-spy in response here from Mix. A couple scouts in the mix, a few upgraded pistols, and an MP9 as well to try to answer back after losing the pistol.
Brings a whole new light to the term in the mix, right?
Yeah.
Quite literally. Yeah. There's the MP9. Flatcho doing good damage. Should get peeked from under and will go down eventually. But damage has been significant to Norvi and Kenzie. Scout has got 1 tag, but only 1. So Sangal have been able to escape with a man advantage.
Yeah, you don't mind it if you're Sangal. Sure, you've taken damage, but you've got full mid control. You've got a man advantage as well. Still have a decent amount of utility to work with. And Mix have decided to go for a gamble. Also does make sense in their case here. Just try and roll the dice, stack up on one side of the map. Hope and pray they come in that direction. If they don't, you save your guns. If they do, you have a chance. Unfortunately for them, they bet incorrectly. So Sangal get full control of the A bomb site. And with that, we'll go clear 2-0.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Always feels annoying when you have to save your 4-spy. Rigon will give that up though on the Deagle.
Which is nonsensical, Trav. Like, you've committed to the stack on the B bomb site to give yourself a chance, and like I said, if they don't come your way, you save your guns. Now you've just not even been able to save the gun. And for what? Maybe getting a kill at range? Is that going to give you any chance in the retake? Probably not when you're so far away. That just felt a little bit unnecessary, and sinnopsyy is making the same mistake.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's got 1 toward Norvi. Should surely fall away now. Volt has nothing to save at all other than the Deagle. It's not like he's got armor, which should actually be a little bit more valuable, I feel like. But he'll keep hold of it. Of course, sinnopsyy grabbing that Deagle, you could argue, as actually Volt does find a MAC-10 flying around on short, which is definitely handy. Can now drop a Deagle to a teammate and keep that MAC-10.
Yeah, I'm doing the opposite. I'm dropping the MAC-10, keeping the Deagle, I think.
Yeah, true, actually.
Well, he got Kevlar.
He bought Kevlar, so maybe he does go that way, the route that I mentioned. But, yeah, at least sinnopsyy is able to pick up that Deagle that Rigon lost. So they actually technically haven't lost that much. They lost the armor, but they can still drop the Deagle over and have what they would have had anyway.
Yeah, and they get $2,900 if they lose this round as well, so not any concern in terms of their investment in the round that follows. Like you say, few pieces to work with here. A few proverbial banana peels from Sangal. They're going to have to be careful if they don't slip up, and that's a good opening kill from Klax.
Oh, Flatro doing some tag damage to Kenzie. Nade is good. Both ways, to be fair. Again, Flatro being a nuisance on T side as he can be on Mirage in window, but on CT plays like Con in window as well, most usually. Actually, will force Rigon into the open though, and it's a good bit of utility usage to make him go to that peak in the end. A little bit deeper, just made sure that could have spread, and that's why Rigon peaked, I think, in the end. Klax has found his second of the round. Norby's waiting for the advance of Flatro, and this is going to be all comfortable. That's annoying for Volt. He was in a position where he was waiting to try and get at least one kill with a Mac 10 for some extra dollar, but already naded to a maximum damage nade, I think, with like 52 damage. And Sangal clean so far, 3-0 on Mirage.
Yeah, looking pretty convincing, pretty solid, right? Just in terms of the way that they're setting themselves up, the base that they're creating for themselves, the way that they're covering all their bases as well. They're not getting caught off guard by these positions that Mix are taking, these little sporadic spurts of aggression, these peaks and these pushes coming through. Sangal looking pretty good here in the opening of Mirage. Now they're going to throw the window smoke and the top mid smoke with some flash support, but it's all a ruse to draw attention away from A. Volt is here right now, but Sangal have got to move on.
Patro, ready. Norby will go down. Patsi has to peek, but he's not getting his kills completed until right at the very end of the spray. Somehow gets away with both in the end with 7 health, 2 spare, and Klax. He's got into CT way earlier than Acor was ready for. Rigon trying to force his way through, but extra flashing towards CT. That will move sinnopsyy's crosshair into an awkward position, and Klax will take that one as well. Rigon's not allowed to escape. Kenzie with a kill of his own. Patsi cracked that one open.
Oh yeah, fantastic work. The fact that he's able to actually, like you say, come away with both of those kills and keep his life out intact is brilliant. And I love the approach there from Sangal in the first gun round as well. I mean, I know it's early, but there's been a lot of emphasis on middle from Sangal in the first 3 rounds. They throw a similar set of opening utility, smoking off snipers and top mid, but then they just breach into A while that util is still in play. So Mix haven't been able to see, oh, there's no further presence mid, must be a hit elsewhere. They've caught them in transition, and again, it's going to be a rinse and repeat this time against the half investment. Nice combo. Nade and swing there.
Okay.
Catches Klax off guard. Patsy's been dropped as well. Scout gets in on the act. It's a 4v2 all of a sudden.
Long range spray again from Norby, trying to hold on. Acor's trying to no-scope up close with the Scout, and he's going to make it work. What a way to get your first round on the board on Mirage. Oh, Acor and the snipers. He's got the movement for that sort of play. And of course, we know how accurate that Scout can be with the no-scopes. Sangal, so much damage done to them early round there, and they got caught in the end, as they probably should have, with the amount of players that were there on the site, ready to deliver for Mix.
Yeah, like you say, just wave after wave of the Mix players getting themselves in the action on the A-bomb site there, shutting the attack down. But annoying for Sangal that that's how they lose their first round against the half-buy, but they're able to pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and come out swinging in the 6th.
Acor is able to swing for one in the end. Unfortunately, it cost him his life, and with losing Flatro early, again a disadvantage to have to work with. Rigon had a very, very slow train. Maybe not a map he's as comfortable with. Not one that's been really played at all by him himself, and since the Bad News Eagles name was still in Counter-Strike about a month or 2 ago. Only really one map on it, and Volt will actually win that smoke fade battle against Klax. That's one that never usually is a guarantee to go your way, but Norby will trade it, so it retains the 3v2 and the man advantage. Rigon needs to deliver on this rotation, but danistzz always watching for it. Doesn't matter. Rigon hits a crispy headshot with the AK. Chance for more. He's about to get peeked from CT, and Norby, he'll go down as well. That's what we want to see from Rigon. Give him that AK. He can deliver. Now, Kenzie's got the bomb. He can clutch this one.
He can, but he shouldn't be in a clutch right now. This is a 3 versus 2 for Sangal. danistzz missing a key shot there on Rigon has some serious implications because Rigon goes one step further. He gets another kill afterwards. Kenzie has certainly got ahead of the game here. Has he been heard? Yes, sinnopsyy certainly heard him now. And Kenzie might get caught in transition on the cross. He's been tagged up. That makes the life so much easier of these mixed players in the retake.
And there he goes. Well done, Mix. That's an incredible recovery in the round. They're at a disadvantage the entire time, and it was Rigon to be the X factor. Seen him be a little bit whiffy with the M4s in this game so far, but give him the AK, give him that one-shot capability, He looks a lot more comfortable. And 2 critical kills. AWP recovered as well for Acor. Back in the game now. If they can win this round, they will have broken the economy properly. It's not the perfect buy for Sangal anyway, with a deagle on their AWPer danistzz. But, yeah, they can be in the game properly if they take this one.
Oh, absolutely. They've done really well to kind of wrestle back into this position, and this is going to be the easiest round they've had to go up against so far, because there's a Desert Eagle and a Galil in the mix. You win this, then you get to play an anti-eco. So Mix are grinding their way through this game. Sangal not been without their chances in these rounds they've lost. I mean, think about the first round they lost was to the half investment, where they just get overwhelmed on the A-bomb side. Next one's a 3v2 with that key missed AWP shot from danistzz, who, to his credit, had already done well in the round with the frags he had found. So quite brutal to also criticize him there, but it's the nature of the beast.
It is. Once again, Fletcher around connector, trying to gauge the timing and if they maybe walk across that smoke, put a few bullets through it, but keep jiggling it for information so far, but he's going to have less information now as the top con smoke comes in. There's a nade to break it to try and lure someone into a peek, and then good damage as well. Rig on, waiting in window, can go for a peek. It's very obvious that window will be peaked here, and Patsi has to go aggressive for that trade. Does get away with it, does recover it. Acor is ready if they go anywhere near con or go up towards short. Volt off angle on ramp. It's only a deagle in front of him, and that'll be the bomb dropped on the floor. That should surely be the way Mix win this round.
I mean, the problem is he's still pretty isolated right now. Volt doesn't have any support from his teammates. Norby's going to be the one to go back and try and search. Flash completely blinds up Volt. That's a really good flash to force him back initially. Norby looking to scoop up the bomb. Volt is still around, and he's just going to be out in the open. Norby never expects that, clearing far deeper into the corner. Acor also getting in on the action. And that's 3 in a row now for Mix, and finally they've broken the bank of their opponents.
Yep, they're in this one now, and they're going to continue to be a threat for sure. It was kind of obvious going into the entire BO3 that there's no way Sangal were going to win this game cleanly. I know it's their first game for their new organisation, but it's the same team. Kenzie was technically benched before they picked this team up, so he's just playing as a stand-in today, but of course he has all the experience of playing with them. I think after this qualifier, I believe that Kenzie won't be playing much more for this particular roster, which will be the first time this Norby and Kenzie duo will be broken up for probably a very, very long time. So,
oh, it's been ages. Yeah, absolutely ages, and they've been playing together. Maybe there might be enough motivation for them to stay together if they make a deeper run in the competition. Having said that, Trav, there are so many players out there from their region where there's just like there's so much talent, like heaps and heaps of talent for them to kind of consider, kind of weigh up the options. Do we keep Kenzie?
It's awkward for sinnopsyy.
Yeah, it is. They know that he's here. He's still going to be able to hold the line. He's got good support that's come through as well, and he's been able to keep them at bay.
Okay, it's all good then. It's all good. Sinnopsyy will eventually go down, but at one point there, he needed his short players to come and help pretty quickly, but there was no issue in the end for anyone. 4 players alive for Mix. Building up that money. Sangal will now reinvest. And also, important thing to mention for those of you maybe just joining the stream right now is that, yeah, Sangal did pick up the Astrum core, but of course, knowers will know that Grix was on that Astrum roster. Grix is a very highly rated AWPer, now picked up by Heroic. And the reason this sort of pickup made total sense for the organisation of Sangal is they already had an AWPer on their books in danistzz. He used to be a rifler when he played for Bet Boom, transitioned into the AWP role when he moved onto rosters like Team Space, and then onto that sort of weird EU Polish Sangal. Sangal had their Polish core bought by Eternal Fire. A Polish Eternal Fire definitely is something that makes you think, am I in an alternate universe when you look at HLTV? But that is the reality we live in with the VRS core era. If you need a better ranking, try and buy a core if you've got the money for it. And now Sangal are back into relevancy as well.
Or pay to participate is probably a better way of putting it.
True.
This is a big round here for Sangal, Trav. I mean, they started off 4-0. They then lost to the half investment with that big push into the A-bomb site. They lose this round here, down 5-4, no money. Feels like things start to fall apart quite rapidly at that point. It's going to be Rigon who looks to try and ignite the round with a peek in towards lows, but that costs him his life. Heavy emphasis on middle here from Sangal again. And this molly, though, is certainly going to just force them out into the open. I mean, it actually somewhat works out because they're able to get the kill on sinnopsyy, but they're not going to expect Volt here as well. Yeah,
that's a really good. And he's been able to avoid danistzz trade as well. Volt's done that really well. Just kind of baited in somewhat. He delivered really nicely. Klax now needs to do some work, and he's done that work. Flatro tries to go for the instant trade. That's probably how you should go about it, but he gets punished, and Volt cannot catch Klax on the cross. If he phases his smoke, he's walking into the AWP and the AK. He's going to try and make it happen, though. They need to rush it because of the time on the clock, and they will eventually get that bomb planted. But Volt, I mentioned, so often in the clutch for this team, not just in this close qualifier today, but in the open qualifier, in their run-through. They were 12-2 behind against Arcred in that open qualifier. Came back to win 22-20, and Volt was the instigator for so many of those clutches, but not on this occasion, I'm afraid. danistzz will just catch him through the corner of the CT wall, and that's a big one for him.
Honestly, I'd love to have caught that from danisztz's perspective because he barely even caught a glimpse of his opponent there on Volt and he hits the shot. I'm actually kind of backing Volt in that 1v1 because danistzz is the one who's searching forward. And I thought he might get caught off by Volt's position, but no, he hits that instantaneous shot, barely even sees a glimpse of his opponent, but it's all he needed. Sangal regain the lead. They deny m1x getting the lead. Tiny bit of breathing room for them now. Not much though for either team, Trav. Whoever loses this, gonna have to eco in the next. So this one's 2 for the price of 1.
sinnopsyy pushing forward. First time really we've seen a bit more deep apartments control, but it's a standoff between him and Klax, he has the right eye peek, he has the better angle really. He has a swing advantage. sinnopsyy will go down. They'll be putting pressure on Connector as well. He's got full control of that now. Needs to break that smoke for Acor, but he's just missed the timing on what could have been 2 or 3 players that could have peeked into him. Now Rigon stuck on the side, 35 HP. There's no way out of this one. They're going to completely overwhelm, and that will be 6 for Sangal.
And like I said, coming into the round, you win that, you guaranteed an eco or playing up against an eco in the next. So there's a lot of value in that round win for Sangal, predicated off of Klax finding that opening kill on the player in apartments. Everything else just slots into place from there. I feel like Klax is one of the more difficult players to catch off guard here in the Sangal roster. But we were talking about it on trainees. He's got a really good mind for the game, fantastic game sense. He's always hyper aware as well. You never really catch him napping.
Exactly. And, you know, there's been some games that I've covered for Klax on Astrum where he definitely struggled. I mean, like, individually, he was nowhere. But he would show up, but, like, even at the end of the game with critical impact kills that could change the course of a round in a close matchup. It doesn't matter if you have a bad game if you just show up when it actually matters to win your team the game.
Wasn't that the game you and I were casting of them on Mirage where it was
like 1-13? Yeah.
Yeah, or even worse, and it was like 11 all, and then he had multi-kills in the last 2 rounds of regulation and they won 13-11 or something like that.
I believe you're
Does
right.
That ring a bell?
That was a Compass match, I believe we covered. And
yeah, exactly.
As I was kind of touching on in the pre-game of this entire series as well, you know, one of those Yellow Compass series is the only thing that the Astrum roster kind of won all season. So, yeah, that was a critical one for them to retain some sort of relevant VRS ranking. Nice. Kenzie. Nade helping out against Flatro. Now just the deagle of sinnopsyy to get past. And they will do that pretty comfortably. Acor may have his deagle, but he's on the wrong side of the map on 10 HP. It's going to be 7 on T, and it could be 8 for Sangal. They're starting to properly stabilize now. I think it's important to mention that m1x, I do think they are better on their T sides than they are on their CT sides. On T side, when you're a mixed roster like this, you can play like a pack-based mentality and win a lot of rounds purely off of like trading and teamwork. CT, it's a lot harder to get protocols in place over time, over a short period of time.
Yeah, so we kind of think okay, there's still a chance here for them, but I reckon they need 5, Trav. I don't think that 4 is going to be enough for them going into their T side. On the converse, or on the flip side, really important that Sangal have this little streak of rounds towards the end of the first half, because they were up 4-0 and then they lost to a half buy. If they ended up, like, losing the half, that would have been a disaster for them. But now they can breathe easy. They're sitting pretty comfortable now on their T side, up 7-4. Can they double up on their opponents going into the second half?
Toward Kenzie and lower doesn't do as much damage as maybe Nick sort of hoped. Just 4 getting caught a little bit by the corner of the wall.
There's been so much emphasis on middle from Sangal throughout the entirety of this half, and Knicks are kind of looking to that here in this round as well. They've got 3 players dotted around connector. One on cat. sinnopsy's going to be the one to go down, but it's made up for by Rigon and Acor. In the meantime, though, all that space over towards B as a result of the heavy mid lane from the CT side will be taken advantage of by Sangal.
Oh, the AWP to catch the cross. That's frustrating for Volt. One more player did get across as danistzz re-bolts that up, but they know about it entirely, and Rigon tries to play in the smoke. You won't be allowed to push that one. They've got a rotation from Acor and Flatcho now, but Acor's been spotted out towards short, and now Flatcho removed. Acor will get caught as they go for a double swing. It's a much more solid-looking Sangal. It's 8 on T-side. It's a long way back for our heroes from the Open Qualifier. We'll see if they can make it happen after the break.
Won't let you bring me down, even though you think you're better than me. Lately, I feel I can't find my feet, pushing closer. My heart skips a beat, and now I'm falling deeper than a fly. I can't control it. Dark against the sky, it's not so black and white. It's like I told him, there's things that I can't fight. I just keep going. I just keep going. In my time, I've been dreaming of a space to really find my place. I wish she'd sing what I had dreamed before these darker days. I thought I found my way. Quickly it fades, losing the race, closing the page. In and out, I move myself again. Time moves fast, I feel my heart beating. And now I'm falling, deeper than a fly. I can't control it. Dark against the sky, it's not so black and white. It's like I told him, there's things that I can't fight. I just keep going. I just keep going. I just keep going. I just keep going. Dark against the sky. There's things that I can't fight. I just keep going. I just keep going.
As he turns it, nice headshot goal.
And we're back. Sangal in the driving seat now. 8-4, the last half of this best of 3. Winner plays Namiga in the round 2 of this single elimination portion of this qualifier. With a chance to get through to that double elim, the safety of a double elim bracket. Can Mix find a way back? On T-side Mirage, they played this map many, many times in their careers. You know, Volt and Acor played it a lot when they were on Gamer Legion. Flatro, Rigon and sinnopsyy proved like it was one of their best maps when they're at their peak in Bad News Eagles. But it's going to be a whole other test. Kenzie and Dennis will get the start to the round. Flatro could trade, but they have got the advantage now, Sangal, with good map control as well. Other than Flatro, what did I say about him getting in toward window? He's done it already on the pistol.
Yeah, Danis is read into it though, Trav. He's ready for it. He's cut one Flatro's head right off. At least Volt will affect the trade, but the man advantage persists here for the CT side. Oh, and Kenzie, you can always bet your top dollar. CT side pistol, he's got the Julies, he's got a job, and he's got no head. Acor's gotten the big frag there. Klaxman, the next man, being called into action, and Volt and Acor just working around as a duo right now, looking to try and take fights together, and they've gotten another. That's
huge. They can go for the boost up in window as well to get the bomb through short and planted on B. Klax, if he actually held toward Con, see, they're so worried about Klax peeking them from Con that they've delayed this one quite a lot, and he still could get caught. And maybe overthinking this one a little bit, and now Klax should be winning this clutch. Volt is 2 HP. 20 seconds for a plant. He's allowed Volt to get up towards short eventually and plant the bomb on B, but as you say, I mean, they're playing in tandem there, Acor and Volt, but there's just a little bit of overcooking. It leaves Volt in a really tough scenario, but a big swing in toward the market position, and he gets the immediate headshot on Klax. Lifeline for Mix.
So much confidence there from Volt as well, with only, what, 2 points of health to his name, able to just step out, get that instant headshot, some really clean shooting from himself and Acor there. What a duo, what a dangerous duo. And the first time that they ultimately separate, Trav, is the first time we see them actually suffer a loss, right? But, yeah, in the end, Volt will still get the job done, gets the round across the line. Such an important pistol round for Mix to win as well. If they lose that 9-5, especially if they don't get a bomb plant, it could have been a disaster, but no. They make it work. Now a force buy in response from Sangal.
It's all about avoiding this force now. If Mix are able to convert this, you've got a proper game on. Acor will know that there's no reason to keep him more. He's a little bit stuck, but this is where it goes awry. Oh, Acor's going to get run down. Acor's going to get run down. The Deagle of Norvy's found 2. AK's picked up B, just like that. They've got B, but 2v5. There was some afterplant utility, but if sinnopsyy goes through, he's a dead man. What? Oh, just hold the murder hole, sinnopsyy. That's surely a way for a free kill.
I don't even know what the point of that is, though, because so what if you get into snipers? What can you even do from there? You can barely even do much to the players pushing onto catwalk. Rigon now left alone. He overcooks the pooch there, I'm afraid, Trav. And that's going to be 9-5. You were talking about how important it was to try and navigate their way past the force buy successfully. It was anything but that, I'm afraid.
Ah, so frustrating. Because it's not like they go one by one anywhere. It's not like they don't try and play with teamwork, because they saw Acor stuck on Delpan with no way out, so they double swing to try and help him get out, and they kind of both get one-digged. So it's like, what can you do at the end of the day?
Yeah,
it's just good shots
NS
hit.
in chat, I guess. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Well, they're going to force back here our Mix. I mean, at least they were able to get the bomb down, give them a little bit of extra money coming into this round, but this is a make or break point for Mix. Lose this round here, it's going to be really difficult to contest into the rest of the map. And they're going all in, Trav. I mean, you spoke about in the previous half how T-side might bode a bit better for Mix because they can just play these group-up sort of puggy styles. This is going to be an all-in play on the A-bomb side. Yeah, now going for a proper execute. But no rifles, obviously. That's going to be so hard to deal with. Klax does get one, but it's an immediate trade. And look where Flatro is. With the Mac 10, he gets 1.5. That's acceptable. Right-click nade to break into that smoke. They will see a head on default through the eyes of Danistzz. Acor still playing up here, by the way. That's a surprise to Norvy. Acor happy to continue to go for these peaks. That's 2 1-digs from him.
With the bomb down now, danistzz trying to force his way through. Acor has Jiggle picked him out. They know he's forced the issue. And Volt's found a Tech 9 headshot as well. They are not done yet.
Yeah, I just love the confidence coming through from Mix, right? You've got Juan Flatro who's had to go through his own teammate Smoke to get inside that corner outside of Connector. He gets a frag and a half as a result. Then you have Acor who's standing on stairs in the post plant, completely catches Sangal off guard. They're peppering the smokes. They're hoping they can maybe get a lucky kill. They're never expecting some sort of aggression like that from the T side. And then afterwards, you have Volt, who isn't just cowering in CT. He's still standing behind Triple. He's able to find a frag as a result. Just really good confidence on display there from Mix.
Yeah, they win it with multiple players alive as well. That helps a little bit their future bank. 3M4 to pick up if you are sinnopsyy as well. And now Sangal, their buy is good too. We haven't been still in the forced buy war somewhat, but it's a pretty even buy coming in here.
Yeah, you're right. Surprisingly, I mean, normally you don't have this many rifles in Sangal's position. They're quite fortunate to have so much firepower.
Flatro into the position that Acor was in earlier. Hopefully less risk this time of being a 1D. It's only Patsi that's got it this time. It's the rifles that are the threat.
I feel like Patsy's maybe been a little bit underwhelming throughout this matchup so far. Looking back at the numbers, yeah, he's -8, 23 kills across the previous 2 maps. Certainly a player that you could normally expect a bit more out of. Talking about players who have been delivering, Norway, man, he's had a really good matchup. He's still top of the charts here, even on the 3rd map.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's kind of one thing. I know maybe different roles and that, this and that, but kind of the one thing that's characterized Patsi in this tier 2 roster, whether it's Paravision or whether it was Astrum Switch, just been underwhelming ever since the Spirit days, really. Oh no. Kenzie goes over peeking though. That's a bench angle that's always going to be looked at and cleared properly. Volt will run down danistzz and CT. There's one player body blocking in toward the top of stairs, but Acor knows what's going on. Nobody will save. All 5 alive for Mix. Hello, we've got a game.
Oh, we absolutely do. That is a fantastic round for them to win so convincingly. And that's going to put them in a position where they should be able to draw within a single round here. They really are coming alive in the fragging department. Our Mix being led by Volt and Acor. And I mean, it just felt like maybe Sangal got a little bit ahead of themselves. You know, I don't think it was entirely necessary for Kenzie to try and force the issue as much as he does through bench there. Once he goes down, Mix just gets full control of the A-bomb side.
That's gonna hurt. Oh, okay, that was not as damage as I thought. There was one of the games in the Asia qualifiers the other day where I think there was like 5 players grouped up heaven on a full eco and 1 HE came through. And I'm pretty certain it was like 350 damage, if not more. It was crazy.
I feel like that's also kind of around the most damage I've seen an HE inflict before as well. Sort of top banana on Inferno.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a mortar, artillery strike kind of thing, man. Here we go, Trav. A key defining gun run pretty early on in the second half. Both teams rifles across the board. So much on the line here.
Oh,
And they're going to go searching.
no way. This is a crazy decision to go for a pick like this on this sort of round, but if you're playing a buddy system, then why not? You have an insurance policy. Klax doesn't even need that. He entries Rigon straight up.
And I don't even think that Rigon saw the second player either, so it's not like he gets all the info that it was a big commitment from Sangal in terms of their resources.
So full belts of util on Volt and Flatro, but it deserves to be mentioned that they've just used their last smoke from Flatro to block off top con. So it's pretty awkward for them now, actually. They kind of left. Has anything dropped in spawn at all?
I don't think so.
I think they're left with just a contact play out a ramp because they can't block off anything.
I mean, it is only Klax between them and the site right now. He's below half health as well. In the
Look at
meantime,
Norway,
look at
though.
this from Norway. He's gleaned so much information, yeah. And look at the rotation as a result. That smoke at the top of at the top of ramp right now has bought some valuable time as the rotations come through, and Klax gets support, but not in time to try and keep them alive.
Oh, they're brute forcing it. They're just brute forcing it. This is classic old BNE core and Kenzie. He's whiffed his lines. Flatro finds another 3v2 out of nowhere. Bomb planted default. Nori will clear vault properly though. And Patsi on the retake on 16 HP. This might have to be Nori to do it all by himself. The wallbang damage toward Flatro is ridiculous. He has got out of dodge with 1 HP, but not for too much longer. That nade will always remove him every single day of the week. sinnopsyy, 19 health on the clutch. Patsi low. It has to be Nori. They're going to clear it properly. sinnopsyy holds the line, gets the instant headshot. But there was always going to be a trade from Norvi. Norvi continuing to be critically imperative for Sangal in this game, and they will reach 10 first.
Oh, fantastic teamwork coming through from Norway and Patsi there. I mean, there were a number of moments where that round could have fallen apart for m1x, right? Because first of all, it's Klax on the A-bomb site. He goes down without getting killed. You have danistzz, the first responder, coming through from CT. He's looking to catch them in transition, but it's just great awareness there from m1x. Always got their heads up and their guns out. They get the kill on danistzz. Then there's a third player who comes through from CT as well, but they're also able to deal with him. The 2v3 retake for Sangal, ironically, is actually what gets them the job done. And they took their time, Trav. It was a good methodical approach, really good util usage to get the kill on one flat throw towards Firebox. And then they just combine. They just double up. They push forward together, put the low HP player in first. They get the trade. And like you say, double digits first.
Kenzie trying to make up for his whip in the previous round. He does get one, but not two. Once again, Flatro finds an important kill. He's only 13 and 15 in this game, but he's finding a lot of trade kills, a lot of impact. Patsi's going to try and cut this one off. Oh, sinnopsyy getting a chance, and he goes back in for the swing. And look at Patsi. Are they going to check under properly? They are. They should still get a multi-kill. Oh, it's falling apart now. Rigon, 1v3, out of nowhere. He's last alive, and the positioning from Sangal has just about recovered this round.
And Patsi very smartly has no interest in trying to hang around and cover the bomb. He knows he's done his damage, and getting out with his life intact is way more valuable. Rigon is looking to track and trace right now. Bloodhound in the server, following the footsteps of Patsi all the way into this A bomb site. But look at how smartly Patsi's positioned himself on the stairs, tucked in behind the wall. Rigon's never going to anticipate this, and Patsi will time his peak to perfection. So much impact. I was talking about how I wanted more out of him, and boy does he deliver in a key round.
Yeah, huge for Patsi. Great to see as well. Unfortunately, not for m1x. That's a painful one. They had, again, a man advantage to work with. And they didn't necessarily give up fights one by one. It was only sinnopsyy who did that. He went back in toward Norvi to take that duel. He knows if he kills Norvi, he probably has the site open to himself. They didn't have information about Patsi. It was checked by Vault. They're sort of like half cleared. And that was the main thing that got them that round in the end. Patsi's positioning and expertise. Opening in the following though for m1x via Acor's AWP. Not done just yet.
Yeah, m1x just having heaps of money here, losing 2 rounds prior to this, but still able to afford a really good investment, that AWP making a difference. And now they're going to group up and head back through T-spawn in towards A, re-smoke in towards snipers, means that they will still try and keep the emphasis on middle here. And it's done the trick, because look at that. The A-side anchor, Klax, is now focused on connector. Got support there from Norway as well. A player in snipers. They're not considering A at all. It's exactly where m1x are going.
Norvi swing, but he's going to expose himself to Flatro on the balcony. Does well to find sinnopsyy, actually. Norvi considering that. Klax will try and clear mid to make sure there's no lurk. Still in position. Or maybe give this retake a little bit of a look, but their money isn't amazing. Keeping hold of the M4 and the AK does seem like it should be the ideal move, but they do have a kit on Klax. He is sticking around, but I think maybe now he's looking for an upgrade, and that's all. They're going to fall away.
Yeah, this makes the most sense for me when you look at the finances for Sangal as well. They can afford to drop a weapon going into the next round. They'll have basically a full buy. Klax has been able to upgrade to the M4 at least as well. So I think this is a conservative decision, but a smart one considering the state of the game. And I'm glad that they didn't, like, feel out the round, lose someone, and then commit to the save. They just cut their losses immediately, which means they get the most afforded to them going into that next round. Mix still in this though.
Yeah, by no means done. 11-9 the lead for Sangal. It's only a gap of 2. And if this round goes Mix's way, and there's no shenanigans against the low buy, which, to be fair to Mix, the last couple of times I've been okay with, a chance of getting to at least around 24, maybe even more than that.
Yeah, I mean, both maps preceding this have been pretty easy for the team who have picked it, right? 13-7 in opposite directions, both teams winning their own map pick. We have a contest here on Mirage. Klax forced his way into ramp off the back of a flash. Volt completely blinded up, just holds down mouse button 1. Had support there as well, and that's going to affect the opening frag.
Yeah, he'll be saying to his teammates, did I kill him? Did I kill him? Yes, you did, my friend. Got away with it, and Rigon. We mentioned we wanted some more impact from him after the poor train he had, and he's got a critical headshot working his way up connector there. It's a big miss from Acor, but they still have a 4v2, but Rigon's gone a bit too aggressive there. You just need to hold on to the site at this point. Norby can go aggressive and maybe do some more work, but Volt's actually held the line on 25 HP. It's down to a Kenzie Clutch. He's now 8 points of health, and he's not getting past sinnopsyy. 11-10, no money for Sangal. Here we go again.
So much damage done there through smoke grenades, man. So many kills coming through smokes. Really good work from Mix, just combined, clustered together. And again, that term we've used a couple times now, just brute force their way through the round.
It's classic BNE in a way, right? Like the core of BNE just always played that way. And it's funny, right? We thought like CS2 would really favor them when it first came out, knowing the Pika's advantage, knowing how it favors aggressive moves. Unfortunately, it's kind of what destroyed the roster in the end. They never really reached the heights as they did in Go. But this core of 3, Rigon, Flatro, sinnopsyy, it is the core 3 that we know to be the most talented 3. I don't think it's a crazy thing to say. Ceneri plays okay. He played great, actually, for Kosovo in the IESF tournament. But these 3 guys are the main core that is the exciting pieces of the core of BNE. And with Acor and Volt...
Really cool.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think what's really cool is the way Acor and Volt have been able to buy into the systems and that sort of play style as well, just like seamlessly transitioning into the way that Juan Flatro, Rigon, and sinnopsyy want to play the game sinnopsyy wants to call. It's looking fantastic right now, this combination, this amalgamation. 11-all, Trav, we're going to need all 24 rounds of regulation here, and maybe even more.
Reminder, we've got 9 Pandas versus ESC coming up after this game. And then later on in the afternoon, a new duo will take over and take you through the stage 2, or at least the round 2 of stage 1, I should say. In the single elimination bracket, Liquid versus Sashi will be a big game. Flatro's got window control again. He's got a wonderful timing on it. How does he keep slipping this gap? I mentioned it before the map got underway. He loves getting into window. He loves flanking A or B. He's flanked B this time, but hasn't seen Patsi yet. They're going to group up outside the apartments. And Flatro needs the 1 kill to secure this. Is he going to see it? He is going to see it. He's going to delay it, and he's going to take the kill. B site taken in its entirety. And the Molotov has blocked off that rotation as well. It's Kenzie, the closest responder. Acor's being tagged down to 12, but they've got full control here.
They're done. They've called it a day. They're just going to try and make sure that they guarantee carrying over as many weapons as possible. All predicated off of that very early flank. Juan Flatro, as you mentioned, that is his specialty. It's his tendency here on the T side. And what a round for him to bring it to the table and find success with that as well. 11-all. 1 kill in the round. That's all that was required for Mix to lock it in.
And it deserves to be mentioned as well, the one or main reason why Flatro made the move then and there is that Patsi was pretty loud on the retreat. He made noise rotating back toward B. Maybe you could assume there were still 2 toward B. Maybe not just the 1. But you can assume that there's no one watching window anymore if you run away like that and make noise on the retreat. And they're going to keep hunting as well here, Mix. Why not? When you've got the money in the bank, it does make sense. Sangal are just going to get away with saving 3 weapons. But Mix, the team from the Open Qualifier, reminder to the viewers watching who maybe didn't see it, they were 12-2 behind to Arcred in the Open Qualifier in that 1HL TV game. They won that 22-20. They won their BO3. Now they're here, and they have a chance to beat Sangal.
Yeah, and that 12-2 deficit was in a best of one, guys. So that is insane that they were even able to fight back from that point, let alone get all the way as far as the closed qualifying. They're now 1 round away from going through to that next stage of the bracket.
Yeah,
At least for Sangal, they have a full arsenal of rifles coming into this all-important round to try and give themselves the best chance possible. The deficiency, the problem, is there's no AWP on danistzz, and I don't really remember too many rounds from him outside of the AWP rounds. Maybe a deagle round here or there, but hasn't been too proficient with the rifles. That could be a problem.
It's a very good point. danistzz used to be a rifler when he played for BetBoom, because I think he would have played with Zorti, right? So,
yeah,
it was back in his rifler era. So he's definitely not bad with it. Just transitions to the AWP to kind of prolong his career, even though he's not old, right? Just make himself a more attractive prospect as an AWPer rather than just another rifler in the scene. Anyway, this is it. It's round 24. Patsi playing window. Slow creep up mid for m1x. 3 players here with 2 to a ramp. It looks like they're going to go for a split. Once this smoke fades, can they get up con without Patsi getting some kills in the back here? There's the damage. There's the kill. Flatcher's gone down, but it's a wonderful trade from Volt. That's huge. Kenzie, can he get 2? He can. Oh no! It's not 2 kills for Kenzie. It's Rigon and sinnopsyy both timing out. I cannot believe it. I thought they were waiting in the smoke.
It's only A-core left.
It's only A-core left. Don't be deceived by the 4 A-cores on the right of your screen. That's because there's only 1 of them remaining. I can't believe that's happened then and there. I thought they were waiting in the smoke. It looked like a normal, patient wait. And they'd actually both just disconnected at the worst possible time. I cannot believe it.
That is literally worst case scenario. I mean, Sangal, by divine intervention, have been gifted overtime. I say that. It's not like they were out of contention for forcing it into OT, but they have just been gifted overtime here. That is brutal for m1x. The players and the team, they've done so well to get to that point. At least they weren't down 12-11, Trav. At least they have the insurance of overtime to fall back on, but damn, that sucks.
That's a very, very good point, because if they lost the game like that, with actually a great trade from Volt and a positioning connector where they definitely could have traded Kenzie out of the round. Oh my word. I don't think I've ever, I've watched hours and hours, hundreds and hundreds of hours of Counter-Strike. Every single game is different. Every single round is different. That's what makes this esport so wonderful. But, I don't think I've ever seen that timing on a disconnect. Not just because it's last round of regulation, but also because Kenzie was about to try and frag them, but they both just disappeared in front of his very eyes.
But it's also like map 3, single elimination, EPL closed qualifier, how much is on the line, how far they've fought to get to that point as well. You're right, it certainly is a unique situation, a tragedy, in fact. The good news, Trav, the good news is Juan Flatro's already reconnected. So what that means is it's probably not going to be an unresolvable issue. There we go. They're filing back into the server, and it really does suck for them that they didn't really get a fair contest in round 24, but it's the nature of the beast, man. It's the realm that we live in here. Online Counter-Strike, esports in general. There's so many uncontrollable factors, internet, electricity, computer problems. We just have to roll with the punches, man. That's how it goes.
Yeah, and the thing that's crazy as well is that, it was Rigon, right? It was Rigon and, was it Rigon and Flatro? It was those 2, right?
And sinnopsyy, I think. I think they're all 3 disconnected.
Okay. Never mind. Flatro got killed from behind from Patsi, right? But
exactly.
Maybe he was having issues too, because for both of them to disconnect like that, it was only Volt and A-Core left in the server.
Exactly,
I'm assuming
I'm saying all 3 must have DC'd.
Exactly. I'm assuming Rigon, Flatro, and sinnopsyy are still playing together somewhere. They did, obviously the 2 of them, Flatro and sinnopsyy did just play IESF together the other day. They were in the playoffs of that tournament on LAN for Kosovo. So, yeah, I think that clearly was the answer to that one. I think we're going to go to a little bit of a break while we try and get the final remaining player back in the server. Crazy scenes here. Don't go anywhere.
As he turns it, nice headshot.
Well, the nightmare that you've just seen in front of your very eyes, something that m1x are going to have to try and find a way to get over. Who knows how that round would have played out. Unfortunately, of course, it was what after damage had been done. Can't reset that round. That is the rules.
Oh, yeah.
So we have to go to overtime. m1x, they're still in the game. They've still got a chance, but Sangal have been given a lifeline. Big shadow here for danistzz to see and work with. Surely Acor will not be able to out-AWP him from this position. danistzz can just see everything and everything. Flash, though. That's the way to go about it. And luckily for Acor, danistzz flicks down a tiny bit. It's only a leg shot.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just going to be action breaking out in towards middle. Kills going back and forth. Control looking to be taken by m1x in towards the safe bomb site, but they're down by a man right now. Tracks underneath. Palace is going to find good timing in support of the utility, but he hasn't been able to find a kill, just damage.
Okay, a response. Norvi pushing through that jungle Molotov. And I think with the way that he saw his opponent fall off there, he notices a 2 around that sandbridge area because they were boosting up on each other's heads. And look at the HP, 36, 16 on sinnopsyy and Acor. Norvi and danistzz are not out of this. Even though danistzz is 12 HP, this is so very doable. There's more HEs where that came from, but it's not completed the kill on sinnopsyy. I can't believe it. Bomb plot will come through. There are players holding the line to try and hold up against this, but it's so difficult to keep control of. The incendiary doesn't even finish off sinnopsyy either. The wallbang will at least find Acor. This retake is now on. Kit on Norvi, obviously, in overtime, and he's doing all the heavy lifting right now. He's connected the final bullet on the retake. The HP has come back to bite m1x. And Sangal will get back into the lead again.
Well, I couldn't believe my eyes there for a while that Sangal weren't getting any kills there by virtue of the wall bangs or utility they were throwing, but eventually they are able to collect the kills necessary. It was always going to be so tough for m1x, and there was actually a key AWP shot missed from underneath Palace. There was an AWP posted on the angle. He had a shot, but he wasn't able to connect. I reckon that was like the post-plant defining moment there. And Sangal are looking to pile the misery onto m1x. They were gifted the berth into overtime with the disconnect from the m1x players. And you're right, Trav, it's going to be really difficult for m1x to try and put that behind them and immediately focus up because, I mean, that's a major blow to be dealt to your mental, your momentum, your focus as well. Completely shifts away from the game, right? And now, you almost have to just get back into the swing of things. Map 3 in overtime with everything on the line, single elim. That's a really difficult ask.
Yeah, it's a massive shame. Great bit of utility there to blow that smoke open, actually, for Flatro to deal with Kenzie. Another opening for m1x. They've lost a number of these advantage rounds, but Rigon, has he heard a rotation away from B? I think he has, you know. They're walking 2 players into B. The site's totally clear. They should be bringing that bomb back ASAP. Flatro is again being a nuisance to sell the fake over toward the A side of the map, but Volt has been caught. Rigon, he's out! It's all good. There's the trade. That's a 4v3. There's a short player to have to worry about. Patsi has to do it all alone. Flatro on the lurk does get his kill. And Patsi is still fighting, but won't be able to get past Flatro. He's everywhere in this round. It's Juan Flatro. And Clax has no say in this 1v4 this time. They will stay in touch here. m1x.
Yeah, and we were talking about how difficult it would be to try and put that drama of the technical issues behind them to focus back here in overtime. Winning this round will do wonders for their mental, Trav. Just it immediately locks them back into the game. Big round from them as well. Flatro finding a key kill. Rigon the one to activate in on that B bomb side as well. Playing the situation brilliantly, recognizing the opportunity that had presented itself. And here we go, both teams alive and well in overtime. Who gets a little bit of a lead going into the second half of OT1? Who gets their noses in front? Remember, we had an 8-4 half in regulation for both teams on their T side. So if you can get 2 rounds on your CT side here as Sangal, you're sitting pretty.
Alternate entry toward A. Got a Molotov for Ticket. Firebox is not being checked, though. Some players often put a few bullets through the corner of Firebox there. And if he did, maybe he would have taken down Norvi, but not this time. Rigon, of course, now known about in Palace. Flatcho is again behind enemy lines. So how many times will he be able to do this? But it's only one. Oh, that's so frustrating. Damage done allows Rigon to trade at least, and he leads one more, and he will find one more. Rigon recovering it again. Clack's still here, trying to fight his way through. Now Rigon needs to clutch. He knows where both these two remaining players are. Clack's is 33 HP, goes for a swing, just about gets it. Madness on the A-bomb site. Keeps on going down between these two. But as you rightly pointed out, Sangal with the 2-1, that could be the nail in the mixed coffin.
Oh man, they do so well to negate the impact from one Flatterer. A flurry of frags there from Sangal and a moment's notice there gets them a big advantage. It was still looking very doable for Rigon. He was looking like a live wire in the clutch, but he just gets sidelined. He just gets destroyed by Clax, who displays a huge amount of confidence with that big wide swing. Double AWP invested into by Mix. sinnopsyy with one, A-core with the other. What a time to bring the double AWP to the table as well. First time we've seen it in the series, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, sinnopsyy pulling it out. Why not? A-core will be spotted going for his pick. Tries to grab just that pixel of the headshot. But has to hop away. Whatever happens, it's been an incredibly fun game to cover. We know Flatcho is often quite, let's say, loud on Twitter. I wonder what you'll say about the bad luck that they've encountered in this game. But it is what it is sometimes. They had vague luck to get through this position to begin with, coming back from a 12-2 deficit to win in the open qualifier. It was all their good work, but they have a little bit of luck to make those sort of things happen. This is a great hold here, though. A-core and one Flatcho will get a kill apiece. Kenzie responding. But there is a bit of A presence here from Clax. He's out towards Sandwich already. There's a Palace player. There's a CT player. He definitely is aware of that Palace player. But Rigon, he should still find at least a 1-for-1 here. A-core's quite far up towards CT. Can go for a peek at any point, but could get surprised by Clax. That's exactly what happens. And they know about jungle, but Rigon's going to hold the line. Well played, Rigon. Out of bullets, but he's caught his danistzz between two separate players. And Volt will get the kill. 14 all. They will just never say die.
Oh man, it's a really good round from him. I thought that one Flatro had overplayed his hand there, bitten off more than he can chew and connected with the re-peek into Kenzie. He goes down, kind of gives Sangal a way back into the round, but Rigon does a fantastic job. And also worth noting there that Volt goes through the Molly and Palace so that he can join up with Rigon to just aid and abet him in getting that last kill. Clax was also just looking so mechanical with the way he was clearing out that A-bomb site, but eventually he does get caught off by Rigon from jungle. Scoreline leveled up again. No end immediately in sight.
And 9 Pandas and ESC will wait to play. If they are going to play, we don't know just yet, of course. 9 Pandas have a fully benched roster they'd have to play with pretty much if they are to compete here. Keep you guys up to date on that as we go into the afternoon. Me too.
I really hope they do.
Me too.
And I feel like it would be a team that could do some damage even if it was just like a puggy kind of approach from them. Someone like Result on the server. Always fun to watch. Anyway, 14 all. Scoreline leveled up here between these two teams. Third map, single elim bracket, everything on the line right now. And A-core, wow, my goodness. I thought just with the X-ray I knew Patsi was there, but he must have caught a glimpse as well.
Volt holding the line toward ramp. Great kill on toward Clax. A-core now tagged down. Should get wallbang through triple and will be. Norvi finds that kill, but there are still 2 toward A. And look at Volt's reposition. He's in Sandwich. I'm not sure that's something that's going to be properly hard cleared. And he's still got teammate support as well. Volt's got the confidence to swing. He's helped out by Rigon. Suddenly, it's all down to danistzz. It's going to be another match point for Mix. Can they finally play one out with all 5 players being able to play the full round? They've got another opportunity to make the dream happen.
This does feel deserved, that we kind of end back in the same position we were in at 12-11 in regulation, a map and a series point here for Mix. It's what they had afforded to them at the end of reg, but obviously with the tech issues didn't really get to live up to that chance by no fault of their own. Here now, they have another opportunity to finish off the job. Sangal yet to win a round on their T side here in the second half of overtime. It has to be this round here, otherwise they're eliminated. One thing I will say about this mixed team, and you mentioned it perfectly by saying it never say die attitude, is that they just never go into a shell. They never play not to lose. They're never on the back foot just because of the scoreboard pressure. They're still always playing their brand of Counter-Strike, and you got to respect that.
Exactly. Here is the next opportunity that I completely agree with you. They totally deserve after what went before at 12-11. Patsy's
Almost
got
identical
control.
state of the game, right? Just flip the
Yeah.
halves.
Exactly. Norvi's got up combo, and he's got control toward jungle pretty much. And Flatro, he's got a lot on his plate. I don't think he... Yeah, there we go. At least he's got the information now that Norvi was up there. But Acor, defending from bench, doesn't know which way to look. This is now really rough for him. How many kills can he get? He's going to have to leap away. He's got rifling support, but they're whiffing their shots right now. But he's been able to find Clacks in apartments. Not the second, though. One more player on site, not seen, but now heard. Smoke up is really awkward. Sinnopsyy's almost gone down, but he's still dancing around the site. How is he doing this?
No.
Kenzie finally finds him. Oh my word, that was another... So many micro situations there for Mix to maybe get this win done, but shots missed, awkward repositioning, and Sangal will stay alive thanks to that.
Oh, 2 key shots missed from Acor there on the B bomb side proved to be incredibly costly. I thought with sinnopsyy's smart movement, he might have been able to affect the situation. You know, he comes through the smoke on the opposite side, catches Sangal off guard, but isn't able to get that instantaneous kill. And that means we run it back into double OT. This time fully deserved for Sangal.
Damn. We go on. I'm glad as well, because if there is a chance we don't get a second BO3 today, let's make this one as exciting as possible. It certainly had everything about it so far. Drama, disconnects, incredible talent, incredible skill on the server. Acor, oh, surely he gets caught in mid here, but no, he reacts. Teammate spotted, and Patsi gets distracted, allows Acor to get the opening kill.
Oh, and Mix looking like they're going to regain the lead here, at least initially. Acor and Volt finding some good opening kills between them. And Sangal don't really have much to show for it here. Venturing back in towards middle in the 3v5, they have got a healthy amount of utility, but they're going to have to start to get some kills.
Yeah, that's the second time that Volt has out-dueled Clacks in toward that Palace position when that smoke has faded. Rigon has been a bit shaky on the aim, it deserves to be said, but he's hitting his shots. It's another 1-for-1, but Norvi has traded it, and now it's awkward. Surely with the positioning here of these two players on A, they can peek off each other's contact. Volt and Flatro. Flatro may be low, but Volt can peek whenever he wants, and there we go, it's perfect. No way in for Norvi or danistzz, and Mix are back in the lead.
Well, and Flatro and Volt have actually combined beautifully a number of times on the A bomb site throughout these CT side rounds we've seen from Mix. It's been a really solid duo. Playing off of each other, supporting each other, trading each other. Looked really good between them. Mix will regain the lead here. Sangal have been chasing throughout most of these rounds towards the tail end of Mirage. This is where you would imagine surely the team that have been together for a longer period of time would have better success, right? Map 3 deep into overtime, should have a deeper playbook, should have more composure, better synergy. It's just not looking that way though. Mix have been more convincing so far in my books.
Acor going back in for the re-peek on that one as well. He already tagged up Clacks on the first duel. It's like, okay, that should have been my kill. I'm going to just push for it again. Rigon's got the secondary AWP this time, but this time out-dueled by danistzz. Again, it's down to Flatro, maybe from jungle, playing through the smoke. Oh my goodness, Flatro. This is a Flatro moment! He's got 2. He could have even got 3 as well. Volt's here to support. He's got sinnopsyy next to him too. There's no way up con for Sangal. And Flatro just doesn't respect this that smoke whatsoever. That is the Flatro way. And they've got 2 out of the 3 on OT. Can they make it the full 3 out of 3?
Well, I mean, one Flatro is going to need a wheelbarrow to carry around cojones that size, man. I mean, how on earth does he push through the smoke, get both those kills? It's the duo I mentioned before that round as well, Volt and one Flatro, because Volt also gets 2 kills. 4 frags between them, devastating. Sangal double smoke snipers from a spawn. Shows that the communication not necessarily there right now. And they absolutely can't afford for Mix to go flawless in this first half. That would be devastating. Acorns and lowers right now, but he misses a shot. Oh man, not the first time we've seen him miss a shot in the key round. And they're going to look to try and push him down. He's going to miss the follow-up. That'll cost him his life. First blood for Sangal.
Patsi.
Second and third as well. My God.
Wow. Okay, just like that. Out of absolutely nowhere, he's found a triple. He had a critical triple kill on CT side earlier, which really got them back into a lead on that regulation half. And he's delivered again here. Well played to Patsi. Now, sinnopsyy, 1v4. This game could be going on a little while longer because we're going 2-1 for 2-1 in overtime. Usually, 2-1s breed more 2-1s, like the old Formula 1 saying, that safety cars breed safety cars. Maybe we've got more Counter-Strike to still come here. Wouldn't surprise me if we've got more overtimes ahead of us.
Not at all. And we got nowhere to be. With a game that's so damn important for both of these teams as well, this is exactly what we wanted. A hotly contested affair. A couple 13-7s going both ways. Both teams winning their respective map picks. But here on the decider, you just can't split these two teams. And here we go, into the second half of OT2. Acor again looking to be the guy to open up the round with his AWP. And he's caught a glimpse. He might get more than a glimpse. Yes, an opening kill as he fells Clax. And look at one, Flatterer immediately taking all the space, Trav.
Oh, he had his crosshair in a decent position. I thought that was going to be another entry from him, but Kenzie this time will take him. Acor toward ramp, looking for the AWP pick in toward CT. As you kind of mentioned earlier, right, Acor is so reliable for these sorts of picks, but this time he's been peppered by util. No way out. Rigon needs to deliver. There's a couple of players in the open toward A, but he was getting pressured from behind. The AWP in toward ladder. He'll use his util to try and lock him in there. He knows he could be in the murder hole, in the ladder room. He goes for the swing, but danistzz is ready for that of all things. And they've now exited the situation entirely. Volt and sinnopsyy are both walking B. Sangal seem very aware of that. And they've got no utility to get actually into the site properly here.
It's all about the timing. Does danistzz peer back in this direction with his AWP? There's a bit of a gap in the smoke that he could try and exploit to get back into B, but he won't. So the plant will come through here for Mix. Yes, sure, they're down by a man, but the pressure's on Sangal to retake.
Yeah, the 2v3, when you've got site control, these can be so doable. It's all about timing. Patsy's coming in on the flank very, very late. This is a good idea, I would say. Now he's going to check it. Great headshot. Great awareness from Volt. And sinnopsyy close market. Should get one more kill, but he doesn't. It's a proper clear from Norvi. And it's a great kill from danistzz to catch Volt, I believe, through the apartment wall. Defuse will come in time. 17 all.
Such a ridiculous fine margin there in the round as well, man. I mean, if sinnopsyy just able to get that kill on the player coming out of apartments, he's got a good shot in the 1v1. If Volt is able to maybe get the kill on danistzz, the 1v1 is very doable for him as well. But the Sangal players stand tall to level up the scoreline again. And Rigon, we got to talk about that Rigon moment there, Trav. I mean, you can understand the thought process because he knows by virtue of the utility that he's thrown that danistzz has to be in towards the vent. They're looking into bottom of middle. But at the same time, danistzz also knows Rigon's there, so it's not like he would have caught him off guard. Tries to take the fight to the AWP, but costs him his life, and it was certainly a big turning point in the round.
It was indeed. And now we're at this position again in overtime where the winner of the next round will get a match point. Patsi, that's really awkward for him, and arguably Flatcher probably should have taken him down. But he's got ladder room control. Nade to try and push him further back. Flatcher's not expecting Patsi to reface that though, and that's frustrating for him. At least Rigon was guaranteed a trade. Still got con control, still got cat control, but there's one more player over toward B pushing up. That's Norvi going searching for this one. Rigon, critical damage to danistzz. And Acor has found that position of Norvi that I mentioned. He's holding for the reface of Kenzie as well. It's an easy pick. Surely B is clear, they will think. But Clax is still delivering. He's managed to find Rigon, but sinnopsyy lurking out ramp, free trade. And they know that danistzz was once in CT on ticket box. B site is clear. Mix. We had a match point at 12-11, and they had the infamous disconnect at this point. They had a match point in the first overtime, now the second overtime as well at 18-17. They're going to have another opportunity.
Such good work from them coming in this round as well, Trav. Just really big frags. I mean, Rigon and sinnopsyy finding great impact in their respective positions as well. I mean, this core kind of feels like we've had a pack of Volt, One Flatro, and Acore in a lot of these rounds on the T side. And then Rigon and sinnopsyy sometimes playing the extremities. They both timing their activations really nicely. It's not about the volume of kills that they've been getting. It's about the impact of the frags that they've been finding. Not so many, but the kills that they're getting are hugely consequential in the grand scheme of things. 18-17, another chance for Mix, this time on the T side again, as was the case in regulation when they were up 12-11, but it's going to be danistzz who draws first blood. Ooh. And Acore ahead of the incendiary. This might not be expected, but the follow-up smoke is a good one.
Yeah, that's frustrating, because he didn't take a single tick to that incendiary, so I thought actually he would have had an opportunity if maybe a B-side defender was being a little bit lackadaisical there. But it's a huge pick from danistzz. Up to 26 for the game. Been very even fragging across the board, actually, from everyone in the server. Volt and Norvi currently leading the way. What a game. What a ridiculous game in the battle for Pro League. sinnopsyy trying to lurk his way up short. It had a decent timing onto a Patsi, but he looks back at the right time. There's more where that came from toward B. And surely in a 3v5, there's no way in for Mix. Volt's found one, but he's stuck in the apartments. And Acore now is 1v4. I mentioned 2-1s breed 2-1s in OT. And guess what? There's another 2-1 child, Matt. We're going more.
Back and forth, man. No end in sight. We wiped that slay clean. Previous 36 rounds null and void. Oh, man. I mean, I will say, I don't think Mix have ever gotten particularly close in actually winning any of their map and series points. I feel like Sangal have always gotten like a pretty easy opening kill, then a 5v3, and it's been pretty smooth sailing when they've been up against map and series points.
Yeah. I don't know what... you know, I was obviously pretty excited to come back and cast again after the player break. There was, you know, being fortunate enough to go to the Austin Major and watching it all in person. It gives you the urge to cast and play again, of course. I've come back. My first like week of being back in the behind the mic, I've had like I think a total of like 6 overtimes over separate matches. There was one in South America the other day. There was one in Asia the other day, and for the EPL quals. And now we're here again with Sangal and Mix. What a game. 18 all. Quick pause. Maybe a toilet break at this point because we're very deep into this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a bunch of overtimes as well, covering some of the EPL closed qualifier North American matches. Had a 12-6 into OT, 12-8 into OT, 12-9 into OT. It's not super egregious games being slipped away, but still a bunch of overtimes over across the Atlantic as well.
Yeah, all the regions, of course, going down for these EPL qualifiers. Only one spot from every single region available in these particular quals. South America begins on the 16th. Asia will be ending tomorrow, or today, actually, I should say. Hotu are playing IHC right now. Hotu, of course, the team with Duke Fazura and Kado and Lampada. Recently qualified for one of their big events, obviously, in PGL Astana. Actually didn't embarrass themselves at all. Took a map off Aurora. Beat Gamer Legion. Yeah. So it looks like they could have a Pro League berth coming their way in North America.
Could be concluding North America later on too today, right?
Exactly, yeah. Looks like M80 will have to battle through the lower bracket to make it. So, lots going down. Lots going down indeed. South America will get underway in a little bit as well as in a couple of days. Some great teams involved there too. You've got Legacy, you've got Imperial. danistzz looking a little bit better, but maybe the last dance for that particular roster. As we've heard the rumours about Gentlemates picking up Iberian Soul and taking Martineza for a full Spanish team.
It's crazy to think about how many teams are actually competing for the 4 spots across all the regions that are up for grabs. I think there's 20 teams in each region that have been competing.
Yeah.
And that's 80 teams vying for 4 spots effectively. The competition is so stiff. Really difficult to make the entire run through, but
yeah, I think
gotta do.
If I'm not mistaken, that's what like the Valve rules and like VRS now stipulates. Like you need 16 teams to be invited via VRS for these qualifiers, and you're allowed to have like 4 from the open qualifier. So yeah, that's what we've kind of got with these EPL quals. And this is only the first game in the closed qualifier for both of these two. Sangal's first match with the players from Astrum is going the distance.
Here's one thing I will say, Trav, quickly, is although it really sucked for Mix that they had that big disconnect at 12-11, they've now had a match point on their CT side and they've had a match point on their T side. So I know it's obviously far less than ideal. It really is unfortunate the way that it happened, but they have had their chances since then. And I think that does kind of like negate how brutal it is that it happened in the first place.
That is true. That's going to be a clip that will go viral, though, that's for sure. To see the two players just disappear in front of Kenzie like that at the worst possible time. Ridiculous. Ridiculous moment. I think we've got a little bit more of a longer break than I expected, so I'll just quickly throw it to a quick break, but we'll be back as soon as possible.
As he turns it, nice headshot goal.
Drama, the name of the game. No time to waste to talk about that, though, because we're thrust straight into the action. We're back. It's triple OT required between m1x and Sangal on the third and final map of the series. And it's already a 3v2, Trav.
Already a mad dash in mid. Straight back into the action. Pause over. We're back ready again. Norvi, surely we'll see Volt try to keep his way through that smoke, and there's no way in. A bit of a slow and a bit of a, I guess you could say, disappointing round to come back to for m1x if you're a fan of theirs. I'm sure there's a lot of you in chat. I see you guys in there. Lots of supporters of the old Bad News Eagles roster. I'm sure there were some Volt enjoyers in there somewhere as well. Any British Romanian Counter-Strike fans? I know you're in there. Sinnopsyy 1v3. And yeah, fast play in mid. Trades were okay to begin with, and Sinnopsyy actually survived on 100 HP after his 2 kills, but he's got to get the full ace to win this one. It's not going to happen. Patsi will catch him, and Sangal are back in the lead again.
I'm pretty sure that's the second time in overtime that Sangal have actually had their noses in front. There was a moment at 14-13 where they were ahead, and now again at 19-18. How valuable will that be? How much gas do both these teams have left in the tank, Trav? I was saying that kind of feels like with the game that goes as deep as this, the team that's been together for longer should be favored to a degree, right? Whereas the mixed team won't have as much depth in their playbook, they won't have as much synergy, they won't have as much experience in having dealt with these sort of situations as the Sangal call.
Oh, perhaps they're trying to tap away and build toward top mid, and it's not going to work. Once again, Sinnopsyy's found a double. Easy as you like. Rigon's already made his way up toward Cat as well. He's got full control of that position. All util in place.
I mean, basically, this should be unlosable from here. Whatever they do, as long as they do it together, that should be enough to get them across the line. I mean, look at the way Sangal are set up. One isolated B, one isolated A, and then clacks in towards mid, and he realizes that he has to at least try and get some input to figure out what's going on here. And one flatterer up connector has just sold them down the river, because Clax was going to rotate in towards B to join up with Norway, but then he loses his teammate in CT, so he's forced to go A instead, and that means it's only Norway on the side of the map waiting to welcome m1x.
Well, he's got 32 kills. Can he somehow get himself 3 or 4 here to make something crazy happen? Well, they are split up. He's found 2. Sinnopsyy and Rigon will drop, and now Clax will be on that rotation at some point. And don't forget, of course, Flatro is still disconnected from these 2 players. m1x are perhaps overcooking this round again here, because Clax still full HP over toward A. He's reliable in these sort of situations, but he's been spotted out. Surely they can team up toward him now. 20 seconds to find him. That nade will not get a kill, but it'll do more damage, and he's managed to find Flatro at least. Norvi, with those 2 kills already we've just seen, there's a chance at more. Nade for triple box, lots of damage to A-core, and Volt isn't exactly full HP either. They're fumbling around the site, and Volt's gonna get away with the headshot just by the skin of his teeth. It's 19 all again.
Oh, NT's in chat there for Norway, guys. What a fantastic attempt that was there from him. He does so much damage initially to repel them from the B bomb side. If only Clax could have upheld his end of the bargain a bit more there on A, Trav. I mean, I know he gets 1 kill, but probably needed a multi to match that of Norway's. And Norway comes, what, 24 damage away from actually completing the 2v5 with a quad kill. A fantastic effort from him, but one that ultimately goes in vain.
Oh, another one of those rounds for m1x, right, where it's just so on a knife edge. You can... They feel so comfortable when they're in like a 5v2, 4v2. It's like, surely they can't find a way to let this one go. But yeah, they almost made the worst possible decision. In the end, made one final call to trade Clax. They did. Only just got over the line because of how good Norvi has been and how close he was to that clutch. Volt with another critical one. Adds to the list of clutches he's found in the open qualifier and closed qualifier in this run for this m1x roster. Incredible work. Sinnopsyy playing top con. Does hold position. Flatro's keeping Patsi locked into a window as well. Now Sinnopsyy will try and creep out and punish Patsi. But Patsi is too aware, and that's a big miss from A-core.
Not the first, second, third miss we've seen from him either, Trav. He's had some really key moments, but he's also missed some really important shots on the map so far. This time he'll connect. but he's been taken down immediately afterwards. In fact, it's just Volt left remaining. You were talking about his clutch ability moments ago, but this one's way too tall of an order. And Sangal are going to be able to sandwich the half with another 2-1. I believe we've only had 2-1s throughout the entirety of this in terms of 2-1s on the CT side, right, Trav? I
Yep.
don't think we've had more than a single round one on the T side in any of these halves of overtime.
2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Can Mix stay in touch? You mentioned to me, you know, funnily enough, at the beginning of overtime, that if you get 2 on CT, maybe that's the
I
way,
know.
considering the
I
8-4
know.
halves we had.
The
but
irony.
The irony. It's gone the other way, funnily enough.
Well, here we go. There's going to be pace coming through from Patsi out into the A-bomb side. danistzz draws first blood, and they now have information on the player in towards default, who's low, but sinnopsyy comes through to support.
Good nade. And sinnopsyy's trying to hold them into that under position, and look where Acor is. Falling all the way back, managing to find Clax. And these two are just locked together. 20 rounds all. Unless Kenzie can win a 1v4, sure, 2 players walking wounded. Tickleable.
I like that word.
Tickleable? Are you ticklish, Matt?
Yeah. Very much so, yeah.
Are you actually? Okay.
But it's that kind of ticklish that's just, like, it just gets annoying and frustrating. Like, you're laughing, but you're not actually enjoying it.
Okay.
Your nervous system betrays you, basically. Because whoever's
Okay.
doing it to you is like, oh, look, he's enjoying it so much. He's having such a good time. It's like, no, I'm really hating this right now.
Unlucky.
Anyway, Kenzie left alone 1v3. Nothing funny about this one, mate.
No. Should be a kill for Rigon as he's crouching into that angle is Kenzie. And it will be. 2020. It was a crazy year. It was a wild year. Don't want to go back to that year.
2020 ever exist, Trav? I don't remember 2020.
No, personally, I think 2020 and 2021 never existed. And I'm actually 2 years younger than I am. So, there you
Yeah,
go.
everybody is.
Yeah.
We just, like, it was a glitch in the Matrix. Skipped forward a frame or two. And here we go. Scoreline again leveled up. 40 rounds of Counter-Strike played, and we aren't any closer to the finish line.
Well, the magic number for Mix was 22-20 in that open qualifier, and they were 12-2 down to Arcred. Can that 22-20 be magical again? Volt's playing anti. That's why he's looking at the floor right now, trying to avoid flashes while that smoke is up. The incendiary dam will give him a chance to deliver, but those flashes are so damn good. Can he get out of this position? The answer is no. And sinnopsyy only finds one. Flatro can't connect. And push through that bench smoke might be the only way in for Rigon. It's watched by Norvi. And it's Sangal to find a match point. Finally.
It'll be their first one. Yeah, they have not had a map and series point yet here on Mirage, unless Acor can do the unthinkable, man. But this would be just out of this world if he was somehow able to win this 1v4 for his team, turn 1v3. Nothing on offer right now from Sangal. Really good post-plant positions being taken up. Palace, CT, triple. And Sangal recognized, well, the only way he wins this is if he comes to us and he hits some ridiculous shots, but Clax has just swung for no reason. It's okay, though. danistzz will get the trade. And like you say, Trav, for the first time here in this matchup, Sangal have a chance to close.
Crazy. 12-11, 15-14, 18-17. All chances for Mix. Now 21-20. Maybe 22-20 will be there. Will betray them. That scoreline. It's a chance. Or are we going more? Every single time we've kind of got to a match point for all these teams, the round's kind of ended in a bit of a damp squib, honestly.
Yeah, it's true. You're right. It hasn't ever been particularly close. Not the first time Acor's done this. He's going to go searching, looking to just try and insert himself into the start of the round, looking to try and force a first frag here. And he could get caught in the open. He's going to miss, but he will still be able to fall back to the safety of the smoke. No! He's actually looked for more, and he's gotten a kill, but it will cost him his life.
That's wild from Acor. I appreciate it. I mean, fair play on getting 1 for 1, but you kind of want the AWP alive a little bit longer in a round like this, don't you? So, that means no more Acor. And could that be his last say in this BO3, this wild BO3? Each team taking their own map pick pretty comfortably, actually. And then the brawl of all brawls on Mirage, as we thought it might be. Historically, these mixed players have always been Mirage players for their various teams, whether it's Bad News Eagles or Gamer Legion. Sangal played a lot of Mirage under the Astrum banner, of course, of late. It's going to be an A push coming in for Sangal. Volt under. Is he going to get cleared properly? The answer's no. That's a bump on the floor. Advance up from Volt through the fire. Somehow gets 2, but they lost Flatro in the meantime. Back into this 2v2 now. Nade toward default. Rigon has to connect, and he will connect for both kills. They keep on going, m1x. This open qualifier feels like it's destiny for them to make it through at least one more round.
Well, they're yet to say die. Never say die for m1x. I can't believe that from Rigon. It looked like danistzz and Norway, I think it was, were kind of tripping over each other there. They didn't really know exactly what they wanted to do in the 2v2, the fights that they wanted to force. They knew that there was a player in CT, but they still get picked off by him so easily. Or Rigon makes it look easy at least. And Sangal had their chance, they had their moment, they weren't able to seize it, and that means we run it back.
Well, you know what? You know, some people might say, "Oh, this game's going on forever. Get it done, get it done, boys and girls." But honestly, news has just come through. 9Pandas obviously recently benched their entire team toward the end of sort of like the earlier point of the year, end of like a couple of months ago. They will not be playing the following BO3 after this. Just to confirm to everyone watching, if you're waiting to watch 9Pandas versus ESC, ESC get a forfeit win as 9Pandas cannot put a full roster together. They would have had to have brought
noises here.
Indeed. They would have had to bring like a core off the bench and maybe find a +1 or +2 to actually play the qualifier to keep their VRS ranking slot. So 9Pandas still in the process of figuring out what the hell they're going to do with their team. But yeah, so this is the only BO3, at least for this stage of the tournament, we're going to be seeing on this stream today. Keep your eye on stage 2 later, obviously. But we need to find the opponent for Nemiga first. That's what these two teams are battling for. danistzz down first. Kenzie should get this kill toward Acor to recover it to an evens once again.
I'm surprised we haven't seen many simple and direct approaches from Sangal here in overtime so far. Feels like they've had emphasis in towards middle in every round, and that kind of plays into the setup here from m1x, but Patsi somehow going to come out on top of that duel with sinnopsyy to get the man advantage, and now they look to get a move on into the same bomb site, but one Flatro tracks and traces.
Shot.
Rigon in on the act as well, and all of a sudden a 3v2 turns into a 1v2.
Great catch from Rigon there with the AWP. Not exactly been known for an AWPer in the past, and he's been missing quite a few of those shots, but actually flicks into the shot rather than just holds across their angle. I mean, sometimes in those sort of situations, the harder the flick is, the easier it makes the shot, weirdly, rather than the easy ones. So gets away with it from CT, but Klax has got the bomb, and he's got a free path to the B bomb site. No after-plant utility, sure. It's going to be down to the gunfight. It's Rigon who's got a smoke and a nade. That could be critical to the late stages of this round. And Klax just making sure everything is clear first. He's got time to do that. Still 25 on the clock to make sure there's no one too close. But unfortunately for him, I think he's going to miss the timing. Okay, never mind, he's not. He's going to see Flatro. Flatro coming back to check B. They now know that's what's going on. And Klax is going to get the bomb down 4 short and try and play near the van. On the balcony, perhaps, in the apartments. First it will come through, but doesn't do much damage to Rigon. And now it's going to be super hard for him, but he still found one. It's all down to Flatro. Klax versus Flatro! What is that shot from Klax? Shot of the game, without a shadow of a doubt. Instant flick one tap. Unbelievable shot.
And this is not what you'd expect, because he had a few moments and a few opportunities before that present themselves, really tough chances that he wasn't able to get the kill in time. But there, I mean, one of the more impossible shots being pulled off by Klax to win the 1v2. That'll certainly pick the team up here in OT3. OT4? Is this OT4 actually, Travis?
Mate, I've lost track.
This is OT4.
It's OT4. Yeah, we're back in, like, you know, global offensive days, thinking it's 1 overtime less. Oh, God. There you go. Overtime 4, top of the screen. Thank you, production. Appreciate that. First 25 it is. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe our good man Chev is also observing this game. I'm pretty sure. So, shout out Chev.
The guy that does like the majors and I Am Cologne and those sort of things.
He's the GOAT.
He's up there.
He's the GOAT.
I'm joking, man, obviously.
Klax waiting for Flatro to
continues
advance.
to frag, and eventually he does prove that he's mortal, but good impact found. Man advantage here for Sangal, looking to get their first 2-1 on the T side.
Oh my word. m1x have just been battling every single half of this overtime. It's been them in control mostly. They've always had those match points like I've mentioned. Sangal with their first at 21-20. Couldn't convert. But a stunning headshot from Klax has possibly instigated them to a bit of a lead again. As you been pointing out, not either one of these two teams has found a 3-0 yet. Could this be the chance? Norvi advancing forward has caught a lot of damage on toward Rigon. So awkward now for Rigon playing from pillar. Surely no way for him to get this kill and recover the round. And there we go. B-bomb site clear, but A's also clear. Actually, Arja still walking into A. sinnopsyy trying his best. And look at the damage he's done. If Volt was full HP, I'd say there's a chance, but he's... Oh, I was going to say denied the plant. He's not denied the plant, but maybe he could just defuse it, actually. It's planted default. Can he cross? Can he cross and defuse the bomb? Going for the duel. So much damage done. He's tapped down Norvi. He can now hold it with Kenzie's position. And Kenzie will make noise over toward that stairs area. But he's got an HE grenade. He's still holding this defuse. And there's the nade. The final touchdown. Oh, if Volt held it the first time, maybe he wins it.
I'm wondering what spooked him off the defuse though, Trav, because it looked like he had committed to it. Not like there were any footsteps coming in his direction, but he second guesses himself. That's what gives Kenzie the time to set himself up on stairs and line up the HE. And it was all reliant and predicated off of that HE. If it doesn't get the kill on Volt, there's more than enough time to finish off the defuse on the second attempt.
Oh, I can't believe we even saw a pass there where it was possible for Volt. He was half health in a 1v4. Almost made it a reality. Absolutely ridiculous. Acor will manage to deal with Kenzie immediately in the following round. Again, we're straight back into it, but Sangal get away with this one. 23-21, and Patsi has pushed Volt out of the round. If Flatro peeks as he should go down, he will go down. Rigon may trade, but again, back 3v3. Again, site control somewhat for Sangal. Nades coming in toward Acor. He's being peppered right now, but Rigon's found one more. This round is back into their advantage until Acor finally gets spammed down. They don't expect sinnopsyy towards CT as well, and then Rigon swings from stairs. I can't catch my breath. It's another 2-1. Matt, hold my hand.
Yeah, but for the first time, it's a 2-1 on the T side here for Sangal. For the first time in what? This is OT4, so this is the 7th half we've had of overtime, and it's the first time we've seen a team win 2 rounds on the T side. Is that going to be a difference maker?
My God.
45 rounds of Counter-Strike played. 24 rounds in regulation. We're 3 rounds away from 2 maps in 1.
These exciting rounds, mate. This is why, like, I know people hate it. I get it. But this is why Mirage should stay in the pool. It should stay in the pool as, like, one of the legacy maps. If you're going to make a change and bring cash back, like, you know, possible people are talking about, maybe even Overpass as well. Like, I think I would much rather say goodbye to Inferno or something like that.
Yeah, the thing is, the one word you can't use to describe this is boring. There's been nothing boring about this by any stretch. There's always early opening fights. There's many different options for the AWPers. There's huge depth in the tactical approach, the timings. There's early fights aplenty. Rigon just snaps the head straight off of Patsi in pursuit of leveling up. The scoreline smoke broken up for him, but can't take advantage.
Rigon's got a great timing here. Easy headshot on Kenzie. That's the 5v3. That's possibly the kill to recover it to 23 rounds apiece. I believe I've just said that out loud. 23 rounds apiece. What is going on? Klax in the smoke. No. They're not checking him. He's got maybe 2 free kills on a plate here. Oh, it could be 3. It's almost 3. Volt will be relieved. He's able to get away from that one. And in the end, we'll just about get it. But look at this. It's now so difficult. We've got a split screen going, but on the same player. sinnopsy's going to be planting. Norvi's now got a chance to clutch this on 65 HP. 2 to find. He's managed to find the first as well. This is doable. Working his way back in. Flatro moving forward, trying to play it aggressive, playing a forward angle. Norvi is only 1 bullet from death coming into this one. Surely Flatro hits the 1 bullet. He will hit the 1 bullet. It is 23 rounds apiece.
Oh my goodness, that is incredible work coming through from Sangal. Rigon in particular finding vital kills. Klax comes so close to finding that big multi. And it's such a tall order, right, Trav? Because he gets 2 fantastic kills, but you feel like he probably needed the 3rd if he was going to have the impact necessary for Sangal to stand a chance to win the round.
I do like a good split screen, but we need to see two separate players if we're going to see it, you know? So
I think, yeah, not only that, but it's also when, like, everybody's still alive, it can be a bit more confusing. Look at this from Patsi, though. We're going to catch it from him and Juan Flatro's POV. Patsi comes out on top. Big first frag found. Sangal in pursuit of getting themselves up to another map and series point here.
Rigon trying to work his way through mid. Spots the window player, Patsi. We can see the back and forth. Little jiggle peek from Patsi. Danistzz looking at Patsi. Well, Patsi looking at Danistzz as if to say, "Can I have the AWP, please? I'm 36 HP." Made into lower. Could do some damage to Acorn, but no, it doesn't. Just catches the wall and falls back behind the window. 23 all. I believe a 4v4.
Yeah, that's what's tough to tell. We can't see the minimap and we can't see the util. We can't see exactly how many players are alive. But you're right, it should be a 4v4. Kill going both ways so far. Acor looking to scale up connector, but I think this is going to end as a B split for Mix, or at least just numbers up Catwalk, and that's a really big kill. It's now only Patsi between them and B, posted on the angle with the AWP. He'll connect on the shot.
Oh, he almost a tag to the corner of the short pallet as well. Quick rotate in and a great kill towards short as well. Catwalk player taken down. Patsi 4 HP. Bomb might be down for Mix, but it's so difficult for sinnopsyy. He's got Volt support, but to be able to hold on to this one would be ridiculous. Patsi now still so low, and actually, hang on, there's more damage being done. Look at the damage to sinnopsyy. He's 1 HP, but he's still found one more kill. Ridiculous. But no more than that, I'm afraid. Patsi will get the kill. 4 health to spare. And they're back in the lead at 24-23. Don't forget, first to 25. So they have another match point.
Such good work there from Patsi on the second AWP as well, posted on the angle, and then the decisions and the moves he makes afterwards to continue to find impact on the bomb site. Really good work. And another map and series points, another opportunity for Sangal to close this game out. Last time they had the chance on the T side, right, Trav? This time it's on the CT side. And Danistzz is looking to be the difference maker. It's already on Catwalk early on. Smoke broken open, exposes 2, but he can't find either.
Oh my goodness. Kenzie trying to play in connector, spots the information. Rigon on Catwalk. Again, focus on mid, all 5 players. You can see it through the X-ray of Kenzie there. And now, with that smoking toward window, once again, we're looking to try and get Flatro in there. He's putting him on the balcony, little ledge next to the window. You can choose to either stick there, wait for a rotation, wait for a peek in window, then go through window again. So, Acor holding from short, looking to see if a CT player goes over peeking. Maybe a player on triple to get one of these opening picks. He's found so many of these just critical single kills over the course of the game so far. They're going to work their way up under.
Tough to tell where the round goes from here. I think that makes it just grouped up. Yeah, they're going to be just trying to go in towards another B split. It's Norby who's here right now. Support smoke's been dropped to give him some space, but it also creates space for the team side. They're now sprawling all over B, finding the frags necessary, just demolishing the defense. And we're going to run it back into OT5 at this point.
I can't believe it, man. This is unbelievable. Patsi trying to retake, trying to clutch. He's got the AWP picked up now. He's got Clacks coming in for market. Surely this is not a retake. And there we go. Flatro's going to swing another headshot from Juan Flatro. 24 rounds all. We will not say die in this final map of Mirage. Ridiculous stuff.
Well, Sangal have now had 2 map and series points. Mix have also had 2. I'm not going to count the one in the last round of regulation because they just never really got to play that one out. So both teams have had 2 map and series points up until this point. Near impossible to split. We've now even seen 2 ones on the T side as well. So what's finally going to give? What's finally going to be the deciding factor here to differentiate between these 2 teams? Just to let everybody know, we're not intentionally sticking with the split screen, guys. It is just a bit of a tech issue at the moment that we're working on resolving. So bear with us. Enjoy it while we have it.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. We're very much aware. We can see you guys in chat, but Yeah, we'll hopefully figure that out in a second. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens. And hopefully we'll be getting back underway very shortly. But listen, 24-24, we're still going. So we'll give it a couple of minutes. We'll jump back, rest our voices for a second in this incredible match. And hopefully we'll be back underway in about 2 or 3 minutes' time.
As he turns it, nice headshot.
When the world is cold, you hear people say, gotta chase the dream of yesterday. But the stories told, the golden memories, ain't a truth but just a fallacy. But there's hustlers, stealers, liars out on this road, and they'll feed the fire and watch it all explode. Gotta put those flames out before we burn it down. Gotta plant new seeds in this ground. Don't let yourself be troubled or think on yesterday. Keep on moving, come on, don't stand in my way. Some people wanna pull you under. Some people wanna make you cry. Some people rolling in like thunder. We gotta fight the feeling, we gotta do it right. If the hustle and grind breaks your stride, do your turn and blame the other side. If the hustle in your mind makes you decide, it will crack and strip you of your pride. Oh, but there's hustle.
Okay, we figured it out. Don't worry, guys. You don't have to look in 2 separate places with the only 2 eyes you have. We fixed it. We're all good. And we're 24 rounds all. Can you believe we've reached this point in this game? Absolutely ridiculous. And it's just a true brawl now, of course, this deep into overtime. Patsi and Kenzie will both push down Flatcho and Acor. It's an early 5v3. Make that 5v2.
Well, 2 maps in 1 proving not to be enough. We will require more. We will require more than 48 rounds of Counter-Strike to figure out which of these 2 teams will go through to the next round here of the bracket. Sangal certainly going to be getting themselves a lead here once again. Just fighting on the front foot here, on the front lines in this overtime round. Should be no way back for Rigon and Volt, man. I mean, they've got time on their side. Volt's going to be looking to try and come through from Palace right now, but Patsy's just holding this and he has no reason to look away.
Volt, great headshot. But never going to be able to get 2 from that sort of position. Rigon will get 1, but he's got to found 2 headshots on 30 HP. He knows where Patsy was, and now it's even more information that he's still there in that position. But forcing the issue is not going to work. Patsy's going to take him down. Back into a slight lead for Sangal. And recently, it's funny, right? First couple of overtimes, it was m1x who had the match points. Next couple of overtimes, it's Sangal who's had them. So, is that pattern going to be broken?
I just love the way that they kind of ripped that round apart there for Sangal, especially after a bit of a tech pause. Maybe you can catch your opponents on the back foot, catch them napping ever so slightly. It requires a lot of confidence to go for that sort of approach. Live fast, die young, but they live fast and they don't die, so it works out well in the end. Don't want to fall behind by 2 though here in overtime. We've just been going back and forth throughout. Then the scoreboard pressure could start to mount.
Oh, Patsi, he's managed to get his one, but it's a bit of a scrappy one, and there we go again. I mean, it's just, as I said, it's broadly Counter-Strike in overtime, but sinnopsyy has found so many multi-kills, it feels like, and now he's got jungle control as well. Klax was not able to stop that. Big damage to both, but triple, we know it's paper thin. And danistzz is not going to be winning this one. There is one. There's an easy kill for Volt. 25-25. 25 plus 25. What's that? It's 50 rounds of Counter-Strike.
Half a century, mate. Half a century is what we've managed to raise your bat, lads. And we're still going. So good there from m1x to make sure that Sangal don't start to tear ahead either. They're still sticking to their guns, persisting with these mid plays, round in and round out. I don't think we've seen any like super fast B punchy plays coming through from either of these teams in overtime. Neither one willing to kind of break away from the mold that's gotten them to this point. To try something different, right? Such a big risk to try and change up what's been working for you in the hope of catching your opponent off guard, though. And it's just going to be more pace and ferocity to follow.
Klax trying to force the issue down toward ramp. Not seeing anything, though. Could that be false info? Because as he's walked away, guess who's creeping up? It's Rigon. And they are keeping an eye on it, but Rigon, clean, crisp headshot. Klax down. danistzz, oh, on the line. Gets one, but mollied out. Surely not two. Run down by Rigon. A 4v2. Make that 4v1. Rigon's had himself a round here. All he's doing to crack open the A-bomb site. And m1x, this time it's their 2-1. 26-25. We're risking at this point cutting into the stage 2 match times.
Surely not, right? I mean, that would be ridiculous. We would already be an hour behind schedule, though. We've crossed the 4-hour mark for this initial game here. And like I keep saying, there's no end in sight, mate. There's no sudden death to follow. This is how we go back and forth. Overtime stacked on overtime. I feel like Rigon has really come alive in overtime as well, and it's tough to tell just because we've played 51 rounds of Counter-Strike, and obviously he was a lot slower throughout regulation, but I think if we could just like isolate his kills and deaths here in overtime, he's probably got the most kills since we've come into OT, maybe across both teams. Look at this from Sangal. I was talking about a pace he hits in towards the B bomb site with numbers, and it's exactly what we're going to get out of them.
Yeah, huge catch from danistzz to open up the round, and now Rigon. He's got a good line actually with where the smoke is, but he somehow needs multiple kills, and it's only going to be one. He should only really ever get one from that position. And that smoke was blown open as well. Flatro, if he walks through this one, surely he's a dead man. But no, of course he's not. It's just Flatro things. He gets the kill. Nay does big damage to Patsi. 5 HP, danistzz removed. Incredible work from Flatro again. And Volt is here to help on full HP. 42 kills in the game. Patsi stuck on Van with 5 HP. Norvi needs to deliver from bench, and Patsi will still find one more kill, but now it's only the 5 HP, and Volt is going to find it. m1x 27-25. Can they be the first of these two to get a 3-0 in overtime?
Oh man, that's a very good question, a very relevant question. Of course, 28 is the magic, 29 is the magic number both these teams are in pursuit of right now. That's the goal. 28 guarantees you another set of overtime. I just love how electric these rounds are right now. There's never nothing going on in any of these rounds. Really solid retake. I mean, how on earth is one Flatro able to push through that cowwalk smoke, get a kill, and then find a second frag as well? Just immense amount of impact from him. And they're going to continue to try and fight in the front foot. Looks like Kenzie might have been asleep at the wheel a little bit there with sinnopsyy rounding the corner. Kenzie doesn't really react, and m1x draw first blood.
Here we go. 4 kills away from the first 3-0 after all these overtimes. Number 5 we are in right now. The magic number. Can we get there? Can we get there? m1x almost at the finish line. So near, yet so far. Good nade damage. Norvi's been taken. danistzz has been taken. And m1x the dream that keeps on going. Can you believe it? 12-2 down in the open qualifier. They won it 22-20. They thrive in these overtimes. They've taken down Sangal's debut with the new Astrum core playing under the Sangal banner.